Alrighty, welcome back everybody to the Tradewaiters podcast. Once again.
Wait. I need to record too, huh?
Oh my god.
One second. Hello. Okay, that's working. Go again. And we're live.
Welcome back. Stop talking.
And start.
Welcome back
and
to the Tradewaiters podcast, the comic book club where we read a different trade paperback every single week. I'm Daniel, you're Nathan, we're brothers, we read comics.
That intro hasn't changed. Why are you stumbling?
I was trying to improv and I can't. So
can't? Nope,
yeah, it's just a bad decision.
Not in the state of mind for it.
Yeah, we're back, Nathan.
We're back.
We haven't been gone to the people.
But to us, we've been gone and now we're back.
It's been like 3 weeks or something.
Has it really? Goddamn. I read a lot of comics that time.
Good. So. Lots to talk about. I hope it's The Penguin, which is one of the books we read this week.
I did read that mostly yesterday. Yeah.
We got different time codes in our description where we talk about the book I just mentioned. We got Back Matter Matters and the poll list, but we also start with the news. So what kind of news you got, Nathan?
Lots of news. We're going to be super late on because we haven't recorded in like 3 weeks.
If you want to hear shit that you've heard about already, buckle in.
Do I got some news for you then? Tom King, the writer of this book, is doing another book, but for Black Canary with Ryan Sook, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, dude. 6 issues.
We're going to see Dinah fight her way to the top against familiar friend/foe Lady Shiva. And Dinah will receive training by Batman, Wildcat, and the original BC, whoever that is, Black Canary.
Before Christ.
The original Christ himself. So that's kind of cool. Haven't seen a Black Canary thing in a while. I don't think since like she was a rock star. So
that'll sure there's something between that, but
I don't know.
What was that, New 52?
That was like DC.
No,
that was New 52.
Okay.
Yeah.
Neato. Ryan Sook, we know him from something?
Yes. He does lots of things. We read him in Blue and Gold, but
that's him. Yeah, good for him.
Lots of other things. He's really good. He's in like Bendis' Superman. That's like really good.
Did he do the covers of Quantum and Woody?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is he
recently in her mind? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah, you like the show What If from Marvel?
Not really.
Well, you'll be happy that season 3 will be the last season of that show.
What if we stopped with that show? And we will.
You haven't even tried season 2.
I haven't. It's probably fine.
The first episode's pretty cool.
Dude, I just don't like the animation that much.
Just get over it and watch it.
Am I crazy for that?
I think you're being weird.
I'm not being weird.
Weird picky.
It's
about the story, man.
It's not.
It's about looking like the people.
If it was about the story, I would have read a damn book. Okay?
Dude, these aren't books.
I know.
We're talking about these stories.
Okay.
Never mind, dude.
Did you like season 2 better than season 1?
I didn't finish season 2.
And I won't finish season 3.
But like, think about it. So if there was a different animation style, you'd like the show infinitely better.
Probably not infinite. I mean, infinitely. I don't know. But
like you would have watched season 2.
If they did something interesting, like each one, I'd be more prone to watch it. I think
animation wise,
yeah,
like a different animation studio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it feels very like.
But think about how cool it would be if this like went on for like a long time and we just had like infinite possibilities of shit that we could have, or like
we could still have infinite possibilities of shit that we can have, just in different animation styles. Like, did you hear about that video game anthology that's going to come from the people that made Love, Death, and Robots?
Yeah.
That looks great.
Yeah, it's like the game show. It's like a game, but it's a show.
It's like an anthology.
I just remember God of War and there's some other stuff.
Yeah, there's like God of War, some other ones, Dead Space, I think. It'll be some cool stuff, I guess.
Red Dead,
but like
maybe.
Video game adaptations, but from that animation
That
studio.
Seems like a fucking slam dunk.
It really does.
Why hasn't that been a thing before?
I don't know. It's probably some weird licensing issues that you have to work
like Red
through.
and Blue have done it since the beginning.
Red versus Blue?
Red versus Blue.
Yes, they have.
What did I say?
Red and Blue.
What is that?
Nothing.
Okay.
You made that up in your head just now? But we should start it.
It's pretty close. Red and Blue.
Red and Blue. Did you know that studio like closed down, the company, Rooster Teeth?
I think you brought it up on our comic book news podcast. Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. But like,
I saw that it happened and I was like,
news.
whatever. Oh, no, they make like Ruby and Ruby makes comics. That makes sense that I would bring it up.
They make Ruby?
Yeah.
Rooster Teeth?
Yeah.
They still make Ruby?
Not anymore. They're not a thing.
Oh.
Unless they sold it. But
didn't they have like a Justice League Ruby crossover movie?
Isn't that wild?
Animated?
Yeah. All those things, yes, are true.
I saw it on fucking Max, and I'm like, what was that again? And I'm like, I'm fucking behind.
Everybody says that. You're like, who the hell's Ruby?
I was like,
why is it spelled that way?
I was like, oh, you have to like sound it out.
Yeah.
Ruby.
Roby.
How's a W working there?
Yeah.
But
Daniel, Santa returns to DC with Batman Santa
Silent
Claus.
Night.
Silent Night returns. The Silent Night returns.
Silent Night.
Night.
Like Dark Knight.
Yeah, with the K, Daniel.
Nathan, November 27th is when that bad boy comes out.
Yes, by Jeff Parker and Lucas Kettner. So pretty cool.
So is Dan Moore on the original?
No, he did the designs for the original and covers. And he's doing covers for this one as well.
That's fucked. He'll post that shit as if he's gonna be doing it.
I know, and that's how you get people to buy the book, because I want to see more of Dan Mora, like he was on Klaus.
And then you get fucked because he wasn't in anything. He wasn't in the interiors.
He's done banger Christmas stories already because of Klaus. Daniel,
Christmas Story.
No, multiple. I think there's multiple Klauses.
That's just like a continuation of Klaus. So
Klaus
it's like singular story.
Two Klaus, two Santa. That's what they call it, I think.
Two Klaus, two Furious.
Two Klaus, two Jolly.
I thought that like as soon as you said it.
They should just keep making Klaus books and then just like align them with the
Klaus 7.
Tokyo Klaus.
Fate of the Klaus.
Yeah, shit like that. That'd be great.
Nathan, we were talking about shows. The Acolyte.
Yep.
That was canceled.
Yeah. I watched half of it.
I watched the first episode.
I watched it until I was done building my Star Wars Legos, and then I lost interest in the show.
How many episodes are in that?
7 or 8. 8, I think.
Okay, so 4 hours is like, yeah, that's a normal Lego set time, I would say.
Yeah. It was like a Millennium Falcon, not the big one. It was like a small one.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah.
I'll get the big one.
And then it'll be our podcast table.
And then I won't know what to fucking... Yeah, I'll put it here. It's in front of us.
No, you make like a special like glass case table.
And I think I want to hang it.
Hang it?
So it's flying. From like a very
fucking crane for it.
From a very small string.
So I don't think you'd be able to pick it up.
No, probably not. I don't know how heavy that is, but
dude,
that'd be stupid. My back would be fucked for forever.
Yeah, dude.
I don't have a good like Lego area, so I'm just hunched over on the couch.
It's the worst.
The lumbar can only last for so long, you know.
Yeah, I have to like sit on like 3 pillows.
Yeah,
and I even have that little table that comes up.
I need like
my back's still fucked.
I need like a drawing table, but just like for Legos. Somehow make that work.
Yeah, but they don't like roll off.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Nathan, Knights and Samurai.
That's the Todd McFarlane one?
Yeah, and David Deschemolshin. We got a release date.
Cool.
September 25th.
That's pretty soon.
Pretty soon. Pretty exciting.
I think I'm excited about that. I like David Deschemolshin and Todd McFarlane.
I'll give it
for the most part.
a try. You know,
I'll give it a quick read.
The college try.
Yeah, exactly.
Where I don't have enough money to buy the rest of it, so I just buy the first one.
Exactly. Daniel, DC announced Batgirl by Tate Bromball and Takeshi Miyazawa. Which is going to
manga book.
Yeah, manga book. I don't know. I didn't see any interiors, but it's coming out November 6th. So that's pretty cool.
Do we not have Batgirl with like Rebirth?
With Rebirth?
Yeah.
Like initially?
Yeah.
I think we did.
Or she's just been with like...
I don't think they're calling it Rebirth anymore. It's just DC.
I know. But like, was there even like a Batgirl Rebirth?
Let me see.
It's just like, I feel like I haven't heard that name since like only in like the context of like the movie.
Yeah, there's a Batgirl Rebirth.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Who's on it?
Larson and Albuquerque. That sounds good. I don't know who Larson is, but
Eric Larson? Surely not.
No, surely not. Hope Larson.
Oh, okay, I've heard that.
Yeah, I think you've seen the cover, but I don't want to turn my computer around.
That's fine.
Just trust.
Nathan.
Yeah. What you got?
Al Ewing and Carlos Gomez on all new Venom.
There's another one?
All new.
He's all new?
Another one, and he's all new.
Is he like a new guy?
New guy. New host.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why? Is it someone we know?
I don't know.
Okay.
He's new. Coming this December.
So is there going to be Venom and all new Venom?
Great question.
These are questions that I have that I don't care to look into. More Tom King news, Daniel. Did you see this? He's going to be on Archie.
The Betty and Veronica thing?
Yeah, Archie the Decision, a new Archie comic from...
We talked about this.
Did we?
Yeah.
Did we see the interior art for it? It's like actual Archie?
Maybe.
Yeah.
How old is that post?
Like yesterday, I think.
Oh, okay. All right, I didn't see those
I
interiors.
almost said last day.
But yeah, we knew about that. When's that come out?
Doesn't say. He's a bad marketer.
Fuck. Like, I need to know like a date even early on, so that
Yeah.
like when that date comes around, I'm like, something happens today,
Yeah.
or something happens soon.
And you're gonna remember it's gonna be Archie the Decision.
Maybe. I know it's something.
Also, Dan Parent on pencils.
Dan Parent.
For that. I don't know if he's been doing it, but whatever.
He looks like a Archie artist. It
Yeah.
looks like he's been doing Archie's whole life.
It does look like that. Kind of like how the Garfield people look like they've always been.
Yeah. Did you buy that Garfield comic?
No.
Oh.
I saw it and I was like, oh no. There's more. I thought about it though.
Dude, Garfield is so many people's like profile pictures.
Dude, I know.
In social media. I'm like, why?
I've actually seen that one of Garfield with like the Joaquin Phoenix Joker makeup a lot. Have you seen that one?
No.
It's very funny to me, but I see it like a lot.
That's odd.
Yeah.
Hey, then you like Ultraman?
Not really.
You like Spider-Man?
Ooh, better.
You like manga?
Yeah, it's in between of those two, I think.
Well, Ultraman Along Came Spider-Man is a manga that's coming out currently on Viz Media.
Along Came Spider-Man.
Yeah. It's not news. It's like a thing that's out already. I just saw it because I got a notification that chapter 4 came out today.
Interesting.
And I was like, that's weird. I didn't know that.
1v1 Ultraman Spider-Man who comes out. Ultraman can get pretty big, right?
Yeah, but he like is limited in that.
And then
like
he
runs out of... He just got the big blast.
He's got the T-Blast, whatever they calls that.
Yeah, I would say that
Like
Spider-Man
Spider-Man.
would probably...
Because he fought Giant Man in Civil War.
Yeah, oh yeah, he just does
he did the Star Wars.
He does an Empire.
Yeah, he does an Empire.
Okay.
So I think he's got that going for him. But Ant-Man doesn't have a T-Blast.
Are you going to get Star Wars Outlaws?
Yeah, probably.
Comes out on Friday.
It does?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, 2 days from now. From
I've
this
heard negative
recording.
things about it. I've seen like the first 20 minutes of gameplay and I'm like, this looks fine. So,
What negative thing have you heard about it?
just glitchy.
Well, that's like...
That's
so like
like-
repatched.
Yeah. Or like some people are saying it's like not fun, I guess. But I don't know. I'll probably get it.
Seems pretty cool to
I mean,
me.
it's going to be on Game Pass. So
It's going to be... I listened to like a podcast of people who played it.
Did they like it?
Yeah, mostly liked it.
You know, it's not as big of a... For like how ambitious they were pitching it to be, I think people just had large expectations of what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, they said open world, but like,
Yeah.
what does that mean, you know?
Like you can just like, you know, like Skyrim, you can just like go anywhere.
Yeah, I guess, but like, wouldn't like Fallen Order kind of be like that?
It's like half open world. Like it's just big map.
Fallen Order or
Fallen
Outlaws?
Order was.
Yeah.
Fallen Order is more open world than... No, wait. Which one's the second one?
Jedi Survivor?
Survivor. Survivor's more open world, I would argue.
It seems like the same game as the first one.
But like you still go to planets and they're pretty like you know where you're supposed to like go kind of deal. And
Yeah.
but like open world's typically like one map, but I guess you're going to different planets. So I don't know. I would say I would consider Fallen Order open world.
So you can, yeah.
Or
that's
Survivor, I mean.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But in this, you can like fly,
You could like fly.
which is cool.
Yeah. It seems like they're trying to go Starfield, which is like Skyrim but in
I
space.
heard that's like the wrong comparison for that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't think you're like traveling between planets like legitimately, you know? Like the,
In Starfield,
the
you're not.
distance between. Oh, no? Okay.
I mean, you can, but it takes like hours.
I don't think it's that customizable.
Yeah.
And I hear there's like some puzzle elements. And like it's like a shooter kind of thing.
I just know that you can join like different crime families, like the Pikes or the Hutts, or like one other one, I think. And I think that's kind of cool. So I want to be a Hutt.
I heard there's like a Jabba the Hutt thing, but it was like a DLC kind of thing. It goes behind a paywall to get to meet Jabba the Hutt kind of thing.
Take my money. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I won't play it immediately because I'm still kind of into Elden Ring. But
Oh, dude, I fucking kept playing Jedi Survivor.
did you win?
And no, I'm stuck again. I need
I helped you beat Darth Vader. What could be harder than Darth Vader?
Bode, dude.
Oh yeah, he's pretty hard.
Bode's fucking annoying.
He's much harder than Darth Vader. You're right.
It's so dumb.
Because Darth Vader leaves you. You got to kill fucking Bode.
Yeah, and
So-
then like he's got his blaster that doesn't run out of blasts, and he's got these like fucking like
Infinite
lightsaber whooshes that he throws at you.
Hey, it's pretty cool though. Did you do like the twist?
What twist?
That Bode was bad guy.
That happened already.
I know, but did you like it at the time?
Yeah, I guess. Is there more to come?
We gotta continue with it.
All right.
Daniel, Hellboy, the Crooked Man has a poster. First poster. Did you see that?
Does it have a release date in the poster?
Yes, September 27th.
Oh, shit.
Less than a month from recording.
Actually.
Yeah.
Okay. That fucks up everything.
So we gotta read that. They didn't consult us for when we were gonna read Hellboy.
Actually, no.
Does that work?
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Are we gonna read the Crooked Man?
We got it, right?
How long is that?
I don't know.
We'll see.
Is that coming out in like? Is that like a wide release? Like it doesn't seem real. Like it seems fake.
Dude, it seems like it would have been like direct to DVD or something.
It seems like a
DVD was
it
still
seems
a
like a
thing.
YouTube movie. You know.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's not going to be in every theater.
We'll watch it.
We'll watch it.
We're watching.
We'll
it.
find a way.
I think it'll be good. I'm still holding that hope. I got the cope.
I think it'll be just fine.
I think it'll be
But I
better
think
than the
we'll
last
like it.
one.
No way.
You don't think so?
The last one's peak.
No. You
So-
got 8 DVDs right
I
there.
know it's perfect. I don't do that with every movie.
Yeah, that's true. Daniel, Marvel Comics for Dummies is coming out. It's gonna be there's gonna be 6 different series in the Marvel Dummies line. But first one's gonna be Marvel Comics for Dummies, and then Captain America for Dummies, set for release in February 2025.
What's it look like?
Like a regular for Dummies book, but it'll be like the big events of like Marvel Comics sort of
it's like
publishing.
a book. It's,
like
not,
a book.
It's not a comic.
No, it's not a comic. It's a book about comics. So yeah, I guess you could call it like a book about comics, you know.
That'd be a funny thing to have.
I think it'd be kind of interesting to like read through.
Do you
or
think
skim
that'll
at
get
least.
nominated for like?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. It like best publication
About comics?
about
or whatever?
comics. Yeah, whatever it's called.
Oh, that's so dumb.
It'll win.
There's so many of those books.
It'll win too. So, you know, depending on how good it is. But I think it'll be cool if they talk about like the history of why some of like, you know, things happen, or like
What do you mean things?
like secret wars, like how they're getting rid of like the ultimate universe. Like, I mean, that's more recent. I think they're going to be like from the beginning, like Fantastic Four was like the first like, you know, superhero group technically, or whatever, like stuff like that. And it was like Stan Lee was like about to quit, and then he decided to do Fantastic Four, and everybody loved it. You know, shit like that.
It's probably a lot of history stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that part's interesting. I don't want to know like
I don't want to read though.
like, oh, original Secret Wars, then Venom happened, you know, shit like that. So also Daniel, Sesame Street #1. they're gonna make their comic book debut.
Is Jim Lee doing the art?
No. Dude, that would be crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
Whoa, you should. I don't know. That doesn't look like Jim Lee art to you, does it?
No, it looks pretty good though.
It does look good.
I like how there's no lines.
Written by Joey Esposito. I think we read something from him, haven't we? And illustrated by Austin Buckley. Issues filled with positivity and hopefulness. God damn
Fucking
it.
hope so.
And if you're wondering, this comic is
what I'm
definitely
paying
for
for.
kids of the age who would watch the show. The first issue focuses on Grover, who encounters many troubles on the street. What, like heroin? Like
Gangs? Like
it's a comic that has a lesson and a lot of heart. That's such a bad like pitch. Grover's encounters many troubles on the street.
it's tough in the streets, Grover.
He keeps getting jumped by the gangs.
Oh,
There actually
man.
is like a. Have you seen that like Muppet, like adult Muppet comic?
Comic?
Yeah, it's like it's clearly like a Muppet satire, but if it was like gritty,
Like, is it just like a picture, or is it like a?
it's like a full
sequential comic.
Yeah, sequential comic.
Oh no, that sounds cool though.
Yeah, it's got like Muppets, or like not actual Muppets, but Muppet like things doing like drugs and shit.
So it's like, so it's not the property,
It's not the property of the Muppets, because that would be bad.
but but like similar.
But like puppet characters.
What the fuck is it called?
Survival Street is what it's called.
Survival Street.
Yeah. It's from Dark Horse satire series called Survival Street. The normally bright and fun Sesame Street has been transformed into a violent dystopia. Or that's like the pitch, I guess. The 4-part comic series Survival Street will be written by 5-time Harvey Award nominee James Asmus. Oh, I didn't know that. He did Quantum Woody.
Oh,
Um,
this looks fun.
I wonder if it was good. Survival Street is definitely right, though. Yeah, it looks fun. Apparently it was his pandemic passion project. Okay, thank you.
Look at this cover.
That's awesome. Damn, I should just check it out and see if it's getting good.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the thing about like comics kind of is that like
Here we go.
like if something's like good that's like indie, we'll hear about it
Will we though?
most of the time.
because like no one's talking about Bird King, and that's like one of my favorite things I've ever read. I think.
Not many people. How did you find out about Bird King?
I think I just saw like a random, like very random thing, and I've never heard anything about it since.
On Twitter.
On Twitter, yeah. Yeah, but it's not like everybody was talking about it. Like I feel like we read like The Many Deaths of Layla Starr, which is very good, but that was because, or maybe it's because it was nominated. Is that why we read it? I feel like we read it randomly because people were telling us, but there's still gems
we
in
had
there.
read it, like it was nominated already or something.
After we read it?
Or after we read it, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think to your point, if this was like a really, really good, satire book, then yeah, we probably would have heard about it because people know what Sesame Street is. So
yeah.
But anyway.
Let's
fucking stop yapping and talk about the book that we read this week.
You're
Daniel.
done, dude? You just kept going.
Yeah, shit. Sorry. I mean,
dude, looking up news.
I wasn't looking.
This episode needs to be longer.
I only looked up the For Dummies. Okay.
Okay.
Dan, what did we read this week?
Yeah, we read The Penguin, the Prodigal Bird.
Prodigal Bird.
I think.
Prodigal? No, Prodigal.
Prodigal.
What does that mean?
So like the prodigal son.
Well, yeah, but what does prodigal mean?
Redeemed.
Spending money or resources freely and recklessly, or having. Or giving something on a lavish scale.
No.
I feel like neither of those apply.
Yeah.
A person who spends money in a recklessly extravagant way. Yeah.
Because like the prodigal son is like someone who is like left faith and like gave up on like God basically, but like returned.
But you have to return to be prodigal?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway, that's what we read by Tom King, Rafael de la Torre, and Marcelo Maialo. And then there's also some part by Chip Zdarsky, Stefan Subic, and Belen Ortega for art. But Chip did the writing. So we're reading this because there's the Penguin series coming out on Max that I'm pretty excited for, actually. And this was a Tom King thing that came out recently. I think this trade came out like a month ago or two.
Very recent.
As well. Yeah, very recently. What did you think?
So I heard about this and people were liking it. So that was kind of like what drove me most of the way. It's very Tom King.
It's so Tom King.
And
that used to be a good thing.
Dude's fucking yapping.
Dude, he yaps, and God, when he yaps, it's like horse tranquilizer, dude. I was put to sleep so many times trying to read this. Tom King is a wake up and read kind of reader, not like read before bed kind of reader, because he will put your ass to sleep.
Yeah.
Like, so within pages. And like, in trade, this is definitely much better. I can imagine.
I'd be so.
I
behind.
barely knew what was happening between each issue, reading it back to back.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there are good ideas in here.
There's good stuff. There's good issues.
Yeah, good stuff, good issues, good art. And I understand this is like a crime noir book, so there's not going to be like a whole lot of punching and stuff.
Right.
That's not the issue I have with it. I think there's like things that he tries. There's things that he tries to do, and he introduces like a lot of characters that he doesn't like really introduce you to, kind of, and it's just kind of strange the way that he did it.
Yeah,
but like by the end, I was like, okay, that was kind of cool. So right. I guess he got me. But there's also a second trade of this as well coming that isn't out yet.
Uninterested.
Same. But yeah, I think what gets me about what he's been doing lately is that he'll have like characters talking to each other, and then one of those characters will have a completely separate like inner monologue that makes like the flow of it really choppy for me.
And he fucking loves it.
And he loves it. And like there are some pages where I'm looking like at the page and there's so much internal dialogue that like fills up like a pretty significant percentage of the page. And he's starting to get to like the point where he's explaining what's happening on the page, and I am not a big fan of that.
This is like the only medium where this happens, it feels like.
What?
Like shit ton of captions and inner dialogue, like narration. It got to the point where I was just reading all the captions first and then reading the page.
That's actually a much better strategy. I found out too late.
That got me through the second half, for sure.
Like,
because like
issue
it's
6,
not,
I'm like, yeah.
The captions are never dependent on the panel.
Yeah,
it's normally just yapping. Yeah. Something that could maybe even skipped.
Yeah. There's literally one I wrote down where it's just directions on how to get out of the building that they're in. And I'm like, why is this a whole ass caption, multiple sentences?
I bet like, he's like, oh yeah, this is fucking gas,
I think when it works at best, he's made some sort of parallel about who Penguin is, and at worst he's giving directions out of the building that they're currently in.
I think
or what this dude's English class is reading, you know?
I think there was one time in Tom King's career where I thought it worked.
Vision?
And it was like, no, I think it was Batman or something.
Okay.
And it was, some Batman scene going on, and there's almost like some sort of ancient history kind of thing, or like a poem or something.
Yeah.
That like was a parallel to what was going on.
It does work sometimes.
And that was like cool.
Yeah.
But it doesn't need to be like your brand.
Yeah, I think that he's trying to make it his brand, or maybe that's just how he likes writing. And I have become less and less of a fan of it, because when like he was doing Batman Killing Time, is that what it was called?
Yeah.
I was immediately turned off by that book because of this kind of
There is more
style.
of that. That's actually a good book though. I liked it.
I'm sure, yeah.
And finished it. And that is also like kind of, this branches off of that.
Yeah. And
like,
I think he draws a lot of inspiration from like Alan Moore. He talks about a lot in like Frank Miller stuff, where there is
Alan Moore is tough
to
get through sometimes.
Alan Moore stuff is hard to get through. So I think he's just trying to cement himself as like that, and that's fine. It's just like not for me all the time. But there are some good issues in here where I'm like, this worked because you're teaching me about this person, and otherwise it would have been hard to display that information.
Yeah, maybe
otherwise,
just like
so.
His ideas aren't able to stretch out to however many issues he wants to have.
Yeah.
And so this rest of this is kind of like a filler.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we'll get into it.
Hopefully he doesn't listen to this one.
Yeah. Maybe I won't tag him. But
I will. I don't mind.
All right, fine.
That's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Issue 1.
Surely he's heard this.
Tom King, love you, man. I met you when you came to Phoenix.
Love
Pretty
Mr.
cool guy.
Miracle.
Love Mr.
Gotham Year
Miracle.
1 was awesome.
Yeah, love,
Strange Adventures is amazing.
I'm typically pretty stoked about everything.
I've read
you come
all
out
of
with.
your Batman run.
All of your Batman. Yeah.
I purchased it's got its own short box.
I purchased the other half. I just don't have the beginning because I caught on later. But I've been hunting for the beginning stuff, if that means anything.
Dang. I think you read my beginning stuff.
I did. I took it and I was like, I want this now.
Yeah.
And so I started. And I like, what else is he coming out with
I plan
right now?
on reading Rorschach.
I have all of Rorschach. Haven't read a single. I read one issue.
Yeah.
But I have all of it. Anyway. Issue
I'm sure
1.
Danger
Daniel.
Street has great ideas in it.
I think I have all of that too.
Yeah.
Daniel, issue 1 opens with Batman and Penguin. They're strapped to like a to the Batmobile, but they're sinking in like some body of water that they can't seem to escape from. And they're like, man, I gotta accept death right now. That's crazy that I'm dying with the Penguin.
Is that the Batboat?
Is it a boat?
I don't know. Why would the Batmobile be that deep in the middle of the ocean?
You know what? That's what I was wondering, and we'll find out. I assume at the end of the series.
Yes.
That we won't.
So me and you won't know.
Yeah, we won't know.
And I'm sure it doesn't come to anything.
No, it'll
that
come
satisfying.
Oh yeah, probably not, but we'll see. Then it jumps to like a year earlier. Oswald is off living like a regular life in Metropolis, free from the Penguin title, but the government sends Agent Nuri Espinosa to get Penguin to work for the government back in Gotham, where he will be used while he like takes back criminal control. So they're going to use him for like criminal information while they let him rise back to power, essentially. And that's the idea. So Penguin had like died, or so everybody thought, but he's actually been living like a double life as like a florist in Metropolis.
Yeah, it's a little continuity heavy.
A little bit. I think it was like an event that happened like a year ago, or like maybe it was like right before Chip got on Batman, I think.
Yeah.
And so that's what's happening.
Because they talk about that. Because the Chip pages in here are just the backups from Batman, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, okay.
So I had read that whole Catwoman like backup story, the issue 0 technically.
Right.
Which I think is a solid idea for a book. He has like a wife or a fiance, I think.
Yo, Penguin pulls, dude.
Penguin fucking pulls baddies, and I don't understand it, dude.
I guess Lex Luthor died or something.
Yeah, I don't.
Did you pick up on that?
I did see that, but I couldn't tell what they were referencing in continuity. I don't think.
I don't know either.
It's not important, but there's a whole caption box explaining how like Penguin can get like out of the interrogation room. Like this is the one I'm like pissed off about. And I'm like, dude, come on. Because like on this page, there's like so much. You could see it from where you're sitting, on my phone. There's a lot going on there.
So before that, when that detective like comes into like his flower shop or whatever,
Yeah.
she shoots his bird.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Like, you didn't need to shoot the bird.
Just point the gun at him. He understands.
Yeah, license to kill does not
mean shoot a bird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't mean you shoot every bird you
So
see.
now we're on Penguin's side. That's some clever Tom King writing right there, actually.
I think this lady was in Killing Time.
Yeah. Was she?
Yeah, I think she was like a part of GCPD and trying to
Oh, okay, cool.
stop whatever's happening.
Yeah. So now she works for like Amanda Waller or something, and she's the one that wants.
Did not expect Amanda Wall in this.
I did not either, but she gets thrown into random series. But there's some interesting ideas, like just in this first beginning part, because like this agent is like trying to get like the real Penguin to come out.
Like taunt him?
Yeah, like taunt him. Like she hires an actor to be like an asshole to him, like on the streets of Metropolis.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, that's kind of interesting that he's like not cracking or whatever. Like he's more content, I guess. And yeah, he's got a hot fiance. But anyway, Penguin leaves. He gets his suit from the tailor, and then he kills the tailor because the tailor made like a comment about him being fat in the past, earlier in the issue. And so we know that Penguin's back, baby, because he killed a guy.
Yeah, the tailor is very nervous because he knows that he's the Penguin.
Yeah.
Because I guess the Penguin goes all the way to Metropolis for suits.
Yep.
And
So he still uses the same guy, I guess.
yeah, and so he gets it.
That's pretty much
Shows that he hasn't changed.
Mm-hmm.
So the detective wants the Penguin to go back to Gotham and like,
Rise?
rises and have his whole empire back or whatever, but operate like under the government.
Correct. Yeah. Kind of cool.
Yeah, I like that.
But they don't really help him at all with that task, so he has to like rise to power by himself.
Yeah, it's like you do all the work and then we'll just kind of benefit off of that.
Yeah, I don't know what their end goal is, because if he's like back in power, then he's clearly not being caught by the government, really.
Yeah.
So I don't know what their end goal was. But issue 2, the first stop for Penguin is to get some muscle behind him, which starts with going to an assassin named the Help. And the Help denies him at first, but then the Penguin manages to pretty much like kill off every single staff member at the Help's estate after like drugging the Help's food. And then Penguin beats the shit out of him, and the Help, I guess, just agrees to help him, and then they drive off.
The Help is also in Killing Time. That's like his first appearance.
Okay, so it seems like there's a lot of times of Killing Time, which makes sense.
That's it so
I've
far.
never heard of the Help, so
The Help's actually really fucking cool.
he seems pretty cool. He's like an old guy, assassin, or just like hired gun, same thing.
He's like all of the above.
Okay.
He's like super Alfred.
Okay, cool.
So the Penguin's like hired him before.
Okay,
And so that's why like he went back to
that's
him.
why I went back to him. Okay, but
But
yeah, initially
the way-
the Help is like, I don't need to do anything for you. I'm pretty happy in my little house.
The way that he's like written is that he can go like toe to toe with Batman. And he does.
Okay,
Which
have you read that whole thing?
Yeah, it's like
Oh, okay, cool.
6 issues.
Okay.
So it's kind of short.
By Tom King standards, yeah.
Right. I guess when he's like, fighting somebody during this, like before he gets killed, he like can recognize like Ra's al Ghul's like fighting style and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
In like this fencer or whatever.
Yep.
Wasn't fencing in the mini today?
Yeah.
Is
EP.
it EP? That's the stick?
That's the name of the stick.
Yeah.
The sword.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Did you know the Penguin's 85?
What? Did
Yeah.
I say that?
Yeah.
Ew.
And then the Help's like 92 or something.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know.
Get that man into Congress.
Make him president, goddammit.
So I don't understand like why.
So we're just reading a book about a bunch of old guys.
pretty much. Yeah.
But the Help's cool.
I don't understand why he kills the Help's like whole staff that like lives with him in this big mansion, which is like, his doctor, his fencing buddy, his like chef. He
Yeah.
kills everybody, and then he beats the shit out of the Help. And then it just like cuts to the Help like leading him to the car and like being his chauffeur. So I don't really understand why the Help would want to be like, well, okay, well I guess I got nothing else going on now, and like starts helping him.
Like surely he won't he won't be caught off guard again
yeah,
from the Penguin.
right.
So
Yeah, so
it's just supposed to show that Penguin can still like get what he wants,
Yeah,
even
true.
though he's like
With a bit of
inferior
violence.
in every way.
Yeah, I think whenever Penguin does get violent, they're pretty good at showing the intensity of it, just based off of like the background's getting more red, and then like when it gets really intense, the whole like coloring of the character changes.
It's like red and white.
It's like red and white, or even when there's like big, kind of sinister moments, like he turns like all purple or all like a different color. Like in this moment, he's like choking out the doctor.
Right.
So I think they do a pretty good job of like letting you know that like he's doing some mob shit right now, which I think is cool. Actually, I think this whole issue, there's kind of like a range of colors, which I appreciate. Like when they're out hunting, it's kind of like more orange and yellow. And then when he's getting helped by the doctor, it's kind of more pink.
Oh, dude, this issue is the one where like every person that like the help interacts with are the captions.
Yeah.
And their thoughts about the help
About
or
the
whatever.
help, yeah.
Which I guess is cool for context, but I don't care about these people's thoughts.
Yeah, I don't care about these people.
Or what they think. Because they're just going to die.
Because like as I'm reading it, I understand that it's like a different colored caption box. And so I have to be like, okay, who is talking right now? You know? And it becomes like a little bit harder to understand what's going on. I think that this strategy that he is doing in this issue works later, I think in the next issue when he's like actually recruiting goons, because you find out a little bit more about them. But in this, these are characters that are just going to die by the end of the issue. So I feel like he kind of skips over some of that.
I mean, I guess it's like effective to like make us care more about them.
I don't.
Like, I know, but like they're giving us more.
I know
for the
they want
purpose of making us care.
Yeah.
Rather than just being, the butler guy that's a no-name or whatever.
Well, and I also think he's trying to make like a more character-driven story, which I think a Penguin story would kind of lead itself to, but not every character needs to be driven, you know?
Yeah.
So
the help, after his fencing match, he does a 30-mile warm-up run.
Oh yeah, fuck this.
Like,
There's no shot.
Come on.
No way. I mean, I know he's like a good assassin. He takes care of his body. He's got his own doctor, but
and then a brisk 10-mile swim in the river to cool down.
That would take 6 hours.
And then some heavy night wrestling. What does that mean?
He's fucking still.
Yeah, boy. Oh, is that actually probably?
That's probably what it is. But like a 30-mile run.
Does that mean the help has prostitutes? If like he's got like 30 people in his employ?
Or a loving wife. You ever think about that? They night wrestles
That's on the payroll.
That's on the payroll. Yeah. But like a 30-mile run at like an Olympic 1-mile pace would still be like 4 hours of your day.
Right.
You know?
And I don't think even like Olympic runners are going to still be fucking exhausted after that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
so then to do a super marathon essentially into a 10-mile, it's just like, it's come up with better stats, Tom King.
Like if he does like a warm-up 5-mile run, I'm like, wow, dang, he's warming up with that? That's crazy. Dude. That would ruin my day.
I do a warm-up 1-mile run sometimes, and I think I'm the fucking shit. So... Issue 3. This issue, the Penguin asks the CIA agent Nuri to get the addresses of 5 men to be his new goons, because he's like, I need to goon, or I need some goons. And so he
5 people, Nathan.
He recruits 5 people named the Silent Majority, Major Victory, Mayflower, Lady Liberty, and Sparkler. And these are people from the now disbanded group called the Force of July, which
name.
Sick name.
No, it's that.
Disagree. Good name. That Penguin recruits through different means, like throughout the first half of this issue.
Who's your favorite?
My favorite character, or the favorite way that they got recruited? Because those are 2 different answers.
Of the Force of July.
Okay, I guess just like the second guy, Major Victory, because he gets recruited because he gets his ass beat in boxing from the help. So I kind of like that.
I like Silent Majority.
Which one was he?
I thought he was the most interesting because like he is like a clone. He's like a multiple man kind of guy, but all of his clones were killed. But he's not sure like which one he is.
That is kind of cool.
He doesn't know if he's like the original or not.
Yeah.
And so he's got this like personality disorder kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It's just the way he talks. I think is interesting.
It is weird. And I think kind of a weird one is the Mayflower, who I guess used to have like poison ivy like powers, where she could like. They explain her as once made plants grow and twist and wilt at her whim, but she has trouble like tending to her garden, so I think she's lost some of her like powers and maybe can only make plants die. And so the way that they convince her to be recruited is that she can like have poison ivy like help her with her garden. Like she's very obsessed with her garden, so I think that's kind of interesting.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
But then there's like this Lady Liberty, I think it is. Yeah, I can't remember. But
Sparkler?
No, Lady Liberty is her name. She gets convinced to be a goon just for money. So I'm like, why did that have to be like a 3-page sequence, you know?
Yeah.
So then Penguin gets them all together, welcomes them to his like, crime empire, and he gives them some guns. And he's like, all right, your first test is to shoot whoever comes through that door. And I think that's like their hideout or something. So he's like, just make sure no one's coming in kind of deal. I do appreciate this roundup footage at the end because we saw like them recruiting each of these people individually, and then they like kind of give us a summary of who they just got, and that's what I appreciate about this issue. But I think this is the only time that I think the individual dialogues for every new character works, because these are going to be like people that he like needs help from, you know, like those are going to be his goons. So the fact that we hear some inner dialogue from them while they're actively getting recruited helps us figure out a little bit more about them. Like the Sparkler is like an English teacher or something. So
yeah.
So then issue 4, Penguin sets up his team around the St. Clair Hotel and Casino in Vegas. And Oswald rents the big suite there so that he can
Pretty believable hotel.
I thought it was one. But like they clearly, I feel like that's like the Flamingo or something in Vegas. It's got like
it reminds me of like the Mirage or something.
Mirage, yeah.
Or maybe like the Wynn.
Also, St. Clair sounds like a hotel as well. So I'm like, is that for real?
Doesn't sound very fun.
It doesn't. But so he rents like the big suite, the presidential one or whatever they call it up the top, so that he can talk to his ex-wife, Lisa St. Clair. It's not really clear at first, but then like why they're doing this. He like sets up his whole team around like the casino of the hotel, on the buildings of the thing, so that he can talk to Lisa. But while they are talking over dinner, the help jumps the gun like a little bit early, trying to kill St. Clair. But it turns out that Lisa St. Clair was ready for this, and she takes out the help and all of the Penguin's men that were kind of posted up all around. And she then shoots the Penguin like in the chest 3 times and leaves. So his ex-wife, pretty, she's a baddie as well. Another baddie. Penguin keeps pulling. He's done it again. He must have a good personality. He's always pulled. Good personality gets you there. Yeah. Or money. One of the two. There's like a scene where they're like at dinner and they're just like talking back and forth, and there's no goddamn inner monologue. And it's like one of the better scenes, I think, of the book, because like I could just focus on 2 people talking and you understand more about their dynamic throughout the course of the conversation. You can focus on what the fuck's in front of you. Yeah, and I think it's really effective. And it's literally just them talking. Like there's nothing interesting going on with the panels. It's a 9-panel grid, which he loves. Mm-hmm. And I think it's great. So I just wish that happened a little bit more. But so Penguin's still alive. He recovers in the hospital and then in his room at the St. Clair Hotel. And then Penguin talks to Lisa St. Clair again, saying that he needs her help, and somehow convinces her to be a partner with him again in taking over Gotham. So the whole stunt was like he needed to like test her like wit and like her abilities and her loyalty. Yeah, because he was talking to her about like doing this casino shit. Like this is boring, like way to get. It's like boring money, essentially. Sure. And he's like, we could get like super big money in crime or whatever. Yeah. So I think the agreement is like he's going to use her resources for right now to help him rise to the top of crime in Gotham again. And then once he's there, she will benefit from, whatever partnership they have going on once he's a crime boss. And it seems like she's also kind of like a advisor of sorts. Yeah, it seems like it. But she's kind of cool. I've never thought that Penguin had like a wife, much less a baddie. So she's kind of cool. So then issue 5. So this is kind of like a character focused one on Black Spider, who's like another gun for hire type guy. But I would say he's like C level rather than like the Force of July, which is like Z level, D level, like made up. Yeah. Like made up by Tom King. So T level. Surely they're like a thing that he picked up from some 60s comic. No, they're for sure a thing. Do you think he came up with the Force of July? Yes, because that's bad. No, absolutely not. They're you want to bet? I will bet. Chocolate cake shake bet. The cake shake bet. The cake shake bet. Do you know, or you're just guessing? I don't know. I'm guessing. Okay. Because he's the kind of guy that likes to just find a random obscure comic book character and he's like, I could do anything with this, and then he just like throws it in. Will you get the cake shake on the way? Like I'll buy you the cake shake and you have to drink it on the podcast. Okay, all of it. That's fine. Okay, let's look. I'm just gonna look up the Force of July and see what comes up. So, like some Proud Boys or something. Fictional DC Comics antagonistic superhero team. The Force of July is a fictional DC. They were created by Mike Barr and Jim Aparo and debuted in 1984's Batman in the Outsiders Annual #1. That's cool. They are a low to mid-level group and embody an exaggerated version of a paranoid, authoritarian, xenophobic, jingoistic U.S. ethos. What's jingoistic mean? Did you know the name is a pun on 4th of July? Wow. So, yeah. For those that don't know... Wait, who are the characters in it?
the team members.
I can click on it. Membership. 5 people. We got Major Victory, Sparkler Mayflower, Silent Majority, and Lady Liberty. All 5 of them.
Yikes.
So it's not working out for you, buddy.
Man, that would have been cool if you made those up.
For those that don't know, the Portillo's chocolate cake shake is a fucking nightmare of a of a milkshake that
it's fucking delicious.
It is delicious, but it's way too much, and it's an entire piece of chocolate cake in a chocolate shake, and it's a disaster. So that's what Daniel has to now drink next episode, because I was right. So anyway, Black Spider is the focus of issue 5. So we see him like bust some drug house while he's working for the Cobblepot twins, who are like currently running Gotham, and Black Spider has an agreement to work for the Cobblepot twins in exchange for venom that he can give to his boyfriend, who needs it as like some kind of medication for a disease that he has. And we see the Black Spider like in costume, and he looks pretty cool, I would say.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, just assassin guy.
They gotta call him Black Spider. You think Tom King made a Black Spider?
No. I think I've seen Black Spider in something.
You've seen Tarantula.
Ooh, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
In Young Justice?
Probably.
Yep, I think you're right.
I like how there's like drug dealers like posing as like Riddler's men to, you know, I don't know, steal shit or whatever.
Or maybe like prevent cops from trying to interact because they like don't want to fuck with the Riddler.
Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a reason
I thought that
for
was
it.
neat. Rather just being Riddler's men.
Yeah, because Riddler doesn't do drugs, and like Black Spider knew that, so I thought that was kind of interesting.
I never thought Venom would be used as like a medicinal reason. Yeah.
That's weird because I feel like you'd just get like really buff, you know?
Maybe.
I mean, I think it's like a small amount, but so I guess it used to be a thing that Black Spider used to go after junkies, which is weird because he used to be a junkie too. So you'd think he'd have some level of empathy.
I thought his dad was.
I think he said that he used to go after junkies, but maybe like criminal ones or whatever. But
Right.
if you were a junkie before, you'd think you'd be empathetic to sort of the pipeline that a junkie kind of goes down. But
Man, if you can believe it, Tom King did not make up Black Spider.
I'm telling you, dude, he doesn't make up anybody. He just uses like really weird people that no one knows.
He's in Detective Comics.
Oh, wow, he looks so much cooler there.
He looks about the same.
No, I'm just kidding.
Detective Comics 463 in 1976.
Wow.
Jerry Conway, Ernie Chua.
I wonder if he just like has a list of obscure characters nobody cares about, and then he just like pulls from them whenever he needs for a story.
I bet he's got a random DC character generator that he has.
I doubt it goes that deep. There's no way there's a random DC Comics generator that has Black Spider on it, you know, or the Force of July.
Well, it's a special one that only he has. That's on Wikipedia or something.
Yeah, probably.
Or fandom.com.
Yeah. What a good site.
It's been helpful.
So on Black Spider's next mission with the Cobblepot twins, he runs into Batman and has to escape through the Gotham River. But because Black Spider fucked up that mission with Batman showing up, the Cobblepot twins kidnap his boyfriend to use as leverage while he keeps doing missions, which brings us to him having a dinner with the Penguin currently, where Black Spider agrees to be the man on the inside to take down Penguin's kids and free his boyfriend. I think this was a more interesting issue, and they kind of actually use the format that King has set up for himself, where there's like internal dialogue going on, but it's like it's only Black Spider this whole time, which I think works better than like random fucking characters having
it was just
dialogue.
that one that was like that, it seemed like.
No, because it was like the one with the help, and then there's the one with the Force of July, and there's more. So I think it's better if there's one person, but this is like clearly like a Black Spider focused one.
Right.
And I think Black Spider looks pretty cool, especially when he's like fighting Batman. I thought that was cool. Like this page, pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So that was that issue.
So he's going to be like a spy for...
Yeah, he's going to continue working for the Cobblepot twins while being a spy or like an informant for Penguin.
Right. Okay.
And one thing I do think is cool is that they're building up to like Penguin just kind of taking out his own kids pretty much or like dethroning them. So I think that's kind of a cool build up, but maybe not 12 issues. But the next 2 issues, Daniel, 6 and 7, are like...
You think LeBron feels that way?
Are his kids going to be in the NBA soon?
Yeah, Bronny James. He's on the Lakers.
Is he really?
Yeah, he got drafted.
Whoa, to this year?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So he's like on the team with his dad.
That's crazy. Is he that good?
No,
Probably not, right?
He's very bad.
It's just kind of cool to have like a father
That's all
son.
it is.
It's like the only time it's ever
All it
happened,
is.
surely, right?
Yeah, I think he only played like 3 games in college.
Like he's gonna be on the bench.
He went to like USC, basically.
Okay.
I think they just put them out at the same time for
clicks,
hype. Yeah.
in jerseys or whatever.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I would want to live in my dad's shadow like that. If your dad casts the biggest fucking shadow possible, you bet your ass I would try and ride that wave.
Yeah.
I'll be a Laker. So yeah, issue 6, Daniel. This is like 6 and 7 are prequels to their Penguin origin, so they don't really relate to the story that we had just read 5 issues of. So that's cool.
I mean, it does. It's just
It does kind of, but not really.
yeah.
So these 2 issues are drawn by Stevan Subic.
Yep.
Is he the one that did that horny book that we read?
That's Stepan Sejic.
Okay, is he the one that did Riddler Year 1? I've seen this name somewhere. I don't know where.
I don't know.
Okay, anyway. So this is like a prequel about the Penguin's rise in crime to eventually take over the Iceberg Lounge. That's what these 2 issues are. He started as like a janitor, and then he worked up to a bartender position at the lounge where he would overhear criminals and feed that information eventually to Batman in exchange for money for Oswald's mentally insane like mom. Except it wasn't actually his mom. It's just some random person he knew.
This is the artist from Joker or Riddler Year 1.
Okay. I fucking knew it.
You're so
I'm
fucking smart.
I'm so nice, dude. I haven't even read that book.
You're on it, dude.
I'm just on it, dude.
Dude, your references are out of control.
What was that from? It's like a skit or something, right?
No, it's from 21 Jump Street.
Oh, yeah, dude, your references are out of control.
Bro, I love your references. I keep seeing that. Like,
I want people to say that to me all the time.
Yeah, dude.
I fucking love your references. It's a funny thing to compliment. So yeah, Oswald worked his way up to bartender at the Iceberg Lounge where a bunch of criminals go to, and he's feeding that information to Batman in exchange for money to help his mom, his fake mom.
But we don't know that.
No, we do know that. Batman doesn't know that, but we know that his mom isn't actually his mom. And it's actually just a cover story for Batman to believe him to have a motive to leak information to him.
Real quick.
While Oswald constructs his own rise through the downfall of Falcone.
Yes. The Penguin, he's like talking to someone who's like drugged or like drunk or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like the lettering is like kind of wonky.
Yeah.
And I was reading this on like the flight, like 2 beers in.
And you're kind
And
of
I'm
wonky?
like, whoa, dude, this lettering, is it lettering me or is it...
Am I making the lettering like this?
Yeah, I thought like my vision was just making this lettering like all wavy.
Yeah.
But no, it was made that way on purpose.
He gets like a glass thrown at him a couple times and he just kind of like tanks it, which I think is really funny.
He tanks it?
Like he just like in this panel, he just kind of, he doesn't like fall on the ground or anything. He just like, he stays standing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you could dodge glass if it's point blank.
But I mean, it just seems like he's like, oh, okay. This like young Oswald design is
Unsettling.
very unsettling, but he looks kind of funny in a lot of panels,
Yeah, I think it works.
which is like totally intentional. So I think they do a good job.
Great Batmobile here. And then like the...
Great Batman. as
Great
well.
Batman. The
Like you shouldn't
settings are kick-ass.
This is cool. Like some of the
scary.
close-ups on Batman where he's got just like white dots for eyes. Very effective. So yeah, I like this change in art. It's not like too drastic from what we had before, but it definitely sets a mood a little bit differently.
Yeah, this dude could be on like Criminal or something. And,
Yeah.
like really cool.
That is a good Batmobile. I didn't really take a good look at it, but it's
I'm
pretty
just
cool.
flipping through and I noticed that. That's a good Batmobile.
Yeah. Whenever they select some sort of artist to be on Batman in any capacity, I think they're like, you have to draw a good, Batmobile. You probably got to draw a good like action shot of Batman with a grappling hook or something.
Yeah.
And then of him looking scary in silhouette,
Mm-hmm.
And
So-
Stevan nails all this.
So the Penguin's like doing like some good here.
Yeah.
Like they're stopping like human trafficking shipments and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Mhm.
But also, and there's like a reference to, I don't know, something happening at like Ace Chemicals where like
Oh, yeah.
a dude fell into like a vat of chemicals.
And he's like, I don't know. Probably nothing.
Didn't hear about it.
Yeah, I noticed that too. And it's like very interesting that, Penguin Year 1 is very tied to like early Rogues Gallery, like Batman Rogues Gallery stuff.
Yeah. It's probably like not very canonical, but like
It's probably not, but it's an interesting idea because there's always like people saying that like Batman villains only exist because Batman exists, and that kind of works in this sense because those things only happen because Penguin was there, or Oswald at this time was there to feed that information to Batman, maybe set those things in course.
But Batman like existed.
Yeah, he existed. I know before Oswald,
and then Penguin became a villain because of Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
Same with like so
he wouldn't have become a villain if not for Batman. So, or like he wouldn't have risen to power. So I think like this is a really good take on like the Penguin character, and it makes it more interesting to me rather than just like some crime boss. Because they have like kind of their early like roots were kind of intertwined there. But this arrangement between them starts to worry Oswald because like what is he going to do when like Falcone's caught? And so Oswald works out an arrangement with Batman that once Falcone is caught, Oswald is given money to buy the lounge and run it while still feeding criminal information to Batman. And then the issue ends with Oswald like not needing his fake mom arrangement anymore, and he like pushes his fake mom off over the edge of the building.
Yeah,
which is crazy, but because he didn't need to do that, but I guess she knows what's been going on, so
she was funny.
It's just like, let me be sinister real quick.
The mom is like, you just want to give me dirty kisses.
Yeah, I don't know what her deal
She's
is.
like a crazy like pigeon lady.
Yeah,
she's like Earth One version of like that pigeon lady in Home Alone, you know?
Pretty much. Yeah, it's weird thinking that Batman would let an arrangement like this happen because does that make Batman kind of corrupt too? Or I guess Oswald hasn't really done anything criminal. He's just posing as a criminal, maybe. He's
just in the criminal place.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not like Batman's letting a criminal do criminal things to stop more crime.
Yeah, he doesn't know it. Like
there's not like a Dexter situation going on, right? At this point. So.
No. Well, I mean, they're both like vigilantes in a way.
Yeah. Well, not really Oswald. He's just feeding the information to a guy.
No, I'm like Batman and like Dexter.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm so stoked for Dexter. I need to rewatch that.
I should too, with Sophie. We'll see. Issue 7, Daniel. A year into owning the Iceberg Lounge, Oswald stabs one of his bouncers that used to work for Falcone, and then he reports that to Gordon so that he can have Batman investigate. Batman and Oswald talk about it, and Batman knows that Oswald did it because of like the handkerchief that he used to clear the prints. It's got like certain patterns that only certain people have.
Oh my god. Yeah.
But Oswald has his wife at the time, Lisa St. Clair, plant it on some other dude so that Batman can beat him up and find it. And then he's like, oh, I guess it wasn't Oswald.
Yeah, there was like mud on the knife, and then the print on the mud was from a specific rare handkerchief,
a specific linen,
where there's only like 6 in the world, and then just planted on this dude,
and he just knows this.
Yeah,
because he's the world's greatest detective, Daniel.
I was like, obviously, okay, whatever.
You know, I think it's fine.
I'm like, make it a weird blade or something.
Yeah, that would have made more sense. I feel like.
Yeah, like it's
Batman
like
would know about weird blades and not weird handkerchiefs.
It's like a type of metal that oxidizes the blood in a weird way, you know, and I guess that's
only one person manufactures that kind of material or whatever.
Yeah, or no one uses them because they're frail. But
like to have like the pattern of the prints wiped off be recognized by a specific linen, I don't know, maybe. But I noticed that I've never seen a panel of Batman like putting something in his utility belt, and I think it's kind of funny when he does it because he puts the handkerchief in there, and that like. That pouch looked full. So like what else was in there, you think? Or does he just have that
Tic Tacs?
You know, or does he like leave some empty on purpose in case he needs to put stuff in there?
So he keeps his vape.
He has vape. He's like, I'm gonna leave this here. I gotta make room for this handkerchief.
He's like he's like waiting for Gordon at like the bat signal. He's just like
he's like, here we go again.
Yeah. This
is my favorite page, by the way.
Okay.
I think he's very short and funny.
So when Penguin tells Gordon about the killing, Gordon tells like Batman immediately, and doesn't tell the cops because he doesn't trust the cops, because of like bribes and shit.
Yeah,
like hell yeah,
because if
this is fucking Gotham, dude.
I mean, that was very Gotham. Because if he sends a cop to go investigate Iceberg Lounge, he's going to be on the payroll of some criminal,
right?
So I think that was written very well, like the situation.
That was my favorite part of all this shit.
It's good, and then I like that Oswald is smart enough to be like, what the fuck are you doing in this town, Gordon? Like, when I was a kid, I used to be able to fucking roam around the streets or whatever. So he's like really playing into even though he killed the guy that he's reporting.
Yeah.
He's playing into it very well. And so
like the Penguin's like realizing that things are going too well for him.
Yeah.
And like all the other gangsters are having shit with Batman.
They're like, why isn't Batman hitting Oswald?
Yeah. And so they have to like fake a fight. To make it seem like Batman's going after everybody.
Yeah.
You know?
So.
But Oswald's like still on top. And I'm like, is that just like the fucking relationship of
this whole time?
Penguin and Batman the entire time? Which would be fucking crazy.
That would be a much better relationship, I feel like. Like he's using... I mean, I'm sure now, like later in, he knows that like Oswald's doing like actual criminal shit, and so they've like they've cut off this interaction.
Yeah, no, he knew what he was doing.
Like be doing this seemingly for like years, I think is an interesting idea. So like, but what's also interesting is that, well, he kills another bartender to like talk to Batman face to face, but Oswald comes up with a plan to put on like a Penguin persona to appear insane, so that when he's caught by Batman, he gets thrown into Arkham instead of a regular prison where it'd be harder to escape. And if he's thrown into Arkham, he'll just wait there until there's like an inevitable Arkham escape, like there normally is every couple months. And then he'll just like escape when everybody else does and continue on to be the Penguin. And I really like the idea that the Penguin's like a persona that he puts on just to seem insane, so that if he does get caught, you know, he can just escape later. And he's just like put on this like crazy character. And I think that's a cool take. But that's like pretty much it for this.
Yeah, then there was all this kind of like added shit about like why the Penguin like is the way he is and like the shit he has.
Yeah,
like his like ex-wife is like,
you look like a penguin with a suit on.
All that's missing is a cigarette and an opera holder.
Yeah, there's like a weird origin.
I'm like okay, whatever.
There's like weird Star Wars prequel origin like scenes that happen where he's like
Han Solo.
That's pretty much like what happened. Or like, here, take this gun, and it's like the blaster that he uses.
Dude, the opera holder is thug. Like for cigarettes.
What does that mean?
You know how it's like long and then it holds the cigarette at the end?
That shit's cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, how's that different? What is that? Is there just like cigarette on the end?
Yeah, you just stick a cigarette in there.
Oh, cool.
And then you can still inhale it, you know?
What? You just make it longer?
Yeah, because like when you like hold a cigarette in your hand will smell. So I think when you have the opera holder, like the smoke is away from your hand.
Why would they do that in the opera?
So you don't smell like cigarettes when you're done, I guess.
Cool.
Maybe, I don't know.
It does go pretty hard though.
It's cool. It's cool.
Visually, very cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think he finds out who Batman is through like a note from the Help. But
yeah, the Help figures it out.
The Help figures it out, yeah. But that's pretty much it. I mean, there's one more issue. That's the issue 0, but I consider that the back matter. So, I hate just in general that the Penguin took so many baths in this series because he looks disgusting. Like, look at him next to his baddie of a wife, and he's just got his stomach poking out.
Whenever I see a bath, I think of Schmidt. He's like, I don't want to sit in testicle tea.
Are you the criminals? The statistics? That's my favorite line.
What does security do about it? Nothing. Typical.
A white man.
It's crazy that episode was like in the last season.
And it's like one of the most...
It's like one of the best
Banger Schmidt stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, good show. Anyway, what were you going to say? I cut you off.
I don't know. We were in France. I saw chutney on like a menu.
Chutney.
A chutney or any kind of chutney. I'm like, I feel like I should try this just so I know what the fuck he's talking about.
And then just lean over to me and say chutney. I'm like, is that chutney?
What are you having? I'm having the chutney. Okay. Back matters. There's no fucking back matter in this.
But there's issue 0.
Right, which is at the end.
It's after issue 7 and not in the beginning of the book.
Which is probably
good.
I guess we'd have like a little bit more context about what's going on if you don't know what's going on in continuity.
Yeah, so this was like a collection of shorter like 5-pagers that were collected at the back of individual Chip Zdarsky Batman issues.
Right. In the back pages of 125 and through to 127.
Yeah. And so pretty much like it's written by Chip Zdarsky with art by Belen Ortega. Basically the aftermath of Penguin's death, which is met with like the fight for power of the Iceberg Lounge. You know, it's happening. Catwoman kind of gets involved. There's a dude named the Executor who was hired to read out the Penguin's will after his death.
He's like an android.
Yeah, I don't know why he's an android, but he works with a dude called Underbroker. So they're just kind of like organizing the Penguin's will and making sure that gets sought out. But the executor can't find all of Penguin's kids, so he asks Catwoman for her help to find his kids so that they can be read Penguin's will.
There's a dude who's like threatening the executor or whatever, and he's like, "You better get out of here or I'll execute more than documents." And I'm like, fuck yeah.
I'm gonna execute you.
That's like the one time you can make that line.
Yeah, he's like, that's all I got. Just give it to me. Make it seem cool.
I'm glad we got it here. Yeah.
And so Catwoman's basically tasked with for money finding all of Penguin's kids. And as she's finding each kid, she's finding that each one is like freshly strangled. And she's like, oh, well, that's a dead end. And then it goes to the next one. She's like, oh, fuck this one too. That's weird. And then goes to like a third one. And she's like, wow, you're currently being strangled by like some hooded figure or whatever. And so she goes back to the executor. And then the Cobblepot twins that are in power in this Penguin book show up to collect the Iceberg Lounge or like whatever's in the will.
And they realize that it's just the lounge that they get, like none of like the assets.
Well, like,
because I think the assets,
a small part, like 10 million in assets, but it's very small.
The rest of it goes to like a penguin sanctuary or something,
which is sick.
I'm like, okay,
good for him. He's he's really leaning into that persona that I guess he just made up. But then Catwoman finds Oswald in his like new persona in Metropolis, and they have some sort of cathartic talk about leaving the crime life behind or whatever. So that's pretty much it. So what I think is funny though is that he has to get a nose job to be this new persona in Metropolis.
Yeah,
but I think it works pretty well. He dyed his hair yellow. He's got a nose job. He's a florist.
It's weird. Like Catwoman like goes to Metropolis and it's like the morning.
Yeah,
she's wearing like normal clothes, but throws on like her Catwoman mask when she walks in.
Yeah,
just so Oswald knows who he is. Yeah. She is, I guess.
Yeah,
like anyone could walk in. And then Catwoman's just there. You know?
True. So that's pretty much it. What would you rate this book, Daniel?
Okay, so I would rate this like making like homemade ice cream and then like eating it. It's like
ideas
still good, but like a lot of work.
Okay, I like that a lot actually. I would rate mine like a food that's like it sounds good like on paper, but maybe the execution isn't my favorite. You know, like I think all of these pretty much are like pretty good ideas, but the amount of reading that I had to do in order to get those ideas, I think is maybe more than I would have liked.
It makes you think of like a burger at like
a PB&J burger, maybe.
Yeah, like a fancy burger place.
Or like, have you ever had
like all the ingredients seem good, but together it's just kind of a mess.
Yeah. Have you ever had a beer float?
I've had a beer shake.
I've had a beer float where it's like Guinness and vanilla ice cream.
That sounds good.
And I'm like, yeah, it sounds good. Let me get one of those. And then it like wasn't very good.
Huh.
So I would rate it a beer float.
Okay.
So like, I don't know. I think I enjoy all these ideas overall, but I think like crime stories are better done. I think that sort of genre fits better in like movies and TV because you can kind of, if it's written well, obviously.
Crime is like a important part of comics, but it's kind of parallel to horror in comics.
Yeah,
to where like you can't have like jump scares in comics, so it kind of loses that element that movies have because there's sound and whatnot.
But you gain other comics elements in there that you can use to your advantage,
right? And so but like you're not gonna give like a horror comic to like a horror fan and they'll be more scared of that book than whatever movie they watch, you know?
Yeah, but I think with like horror or comedy, it works better just in TV or film just because there's
like timing.
Yeah, there's timing. There's more levels of
shock value, I guess.
No, like immersion, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's why, horror movies are scarier obviously than horror comics. But I think with crime, it's a little easier to like flesh out characters and stuff because most of the time when I'm reading a book, unless it's like clearly a very important character, I kind of tune them out. But it's easier to keep track of people, I think, on film and TV.
And crime can be a little tough unless you have like a dynamite artist.
Yeah, for real.
Because you need like the faces to be like exact so that you know exactly everyone is, and there's no like discrepancy with that.
Mm-hmm. But it's crazy that like Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips have just nailed it time and time again.
Right. Yeah.
So they're pretty good at what they do.
But like with like the Fade Out, which is like a crime comic, they have so many characters in that they have like a index of all the characters
really?
and then like pictures.
They have like the call sheet.
And I was consistently flipping back and forward.
That's cool. I like that.
It's like a good idea, but like shouldn't
need
be
that?
necessary, you know?
Yeah.
But
I agree. So
anyway, so let's get into the pull list. :
shove in your box.
The pull list, what did you shove in your box? Did you go today?
No, I forgot to go today.
You forgot to go today.
Well,
out of the
loop.
loop.
Too busy to go.
We
I
got
know Aliens versus Avengers came out today.
Yep, number one.
I'm very stoked about that. I'm gonna be picking that up. What else comes out?
Saga 68.
Yep, very excited.
Ultimate X-Men 6.
Yep.
Zatanna number 3.
Ooh, I can't wait. That book's good.
Batman Dark Age number 5.
Wow.
Phases of the Moon Knight number 1.
We'll see. I think it's an anthology,
Okay.
so not big on those lately, but I'll flip through it.
There's Frankenstein number 1.
Oh yeah, from
Michael Walsh.
Michael Walsh.
Pretty
Big
exciting.
fan. He's writing and drawing, or just writing? I can't remember.
The writing and drawing.
I think he's writing and drawing, and someone else is coloring him. I know there's a second person on that book, but I can't remember what they do.
There's Spawn Kills Every Spawn number 2.
Yes, I haven't read the first one yet.
And then there's Remote Space number 3.
Nice.
So
Good week.
big week, yeah.
Big week. We're picking those up.
Nathan, we went to a different country,
Yes,
which
we did.
means a lot of time to read comics.
Yep.
On planes and stuff.
Comics on the plane. One of my favorite environments to read a plane or read a book.
Love to read a plane.
Love to read a plane.
Read the signs. Read the safety manual.
I usually use it to catch up on comics, which is pretty much what I did. But I also, before I get into what I've been catching up on, I read Bird King Volume 2.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Yeah, dude.
We read Bird King Volume 1. We were blown away. Especially me, because I don't really like fantasy that much. But this is like a cool kind of dark fantasy
Yeah.
type book from Daniel Friedman or something, and Crom, who's the artist. And I was like, is Volume 2 going to live up to Volume 1? Pretty much.
Nice.
It's like really good. I would say that like there's kind of cooler creature designs in Volume 1, but we see more wraiths in this one,
Okay.
which is what Bird King is. He's like a wraith,
No, okay.
and I think it's pretty cool. Also, maybe like there is one like super freaky character, like monster design, and it's like Elden Ring type shit.
Nice.
So I was really happy with that.
Sweet.
But overall, very good. I'm excited for like Volume 3. They kept that momentum going for me for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that shit.
What else did you read on the flight,
I read,
or just since our last recording?
yeah, I read the first 2 trades of Chip Zdarsky's Batman, because that's what's out, and that's what I was able to download for free on Comixology to read on the plane. So that's Failsafe, which was pretty cool, and then a second trade called The Batman of Gotham or something, and it's like a multiverse story. The Volume 2, like he's like at the end of Failsafe, he gets shot with a gun that transports him to a different like universe, and he just has to like become Batman in that universe, and it's like kind of parallel, kind of not. I don't think it was as strong as like Volume 1, but I think it was like Jorge Jimenez on an arc, and then like a fill-in artist, and then Jorge Jimenez is on the next one. So it's kind of like a filler. It felt like it was still good. I like where they were kind of going with it. And then at the end, he was like jumping through different Batman universes, and he visits like Michael Keaton Batman, and he visits like the first Batman. Why am I blanking on his name?
Adam West.
Adam West Batman.
Cool.
And just like
66.
people like, yeah, Batman 66, like just like those versions. And so I was like, okay, if it was leading up to this, it's kind of a cool idea. So I get why he did it, but I think it's really good. So
Yeah.
I'm going to continue catching up. I've read like different spots of it, because I read like Batman Year One, and then like Batman the Nightmare event. So there's like different issues in there that I've read. So it should be pretty good to catch up pretty soon.
Sweet.
Pretty good. And then I also read like half of Wonder Woman Year One, because I wanted to read one of those
Earth
compact. Sorry, Earth One. Yeah, you're right. I wanted to read one of the DC Essentials like compact comics.
Mm.
And
the Rebirth Batman one just came out, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the
That's
I Am
cool.
Batman run
Ooh,
with
good run.
that one guy.
Mikhail Janine.
No.
Oh, David Finch.
Dave Finch.
Yeah. I love that format. I mean, it was $10 for like a lot of story, and I was reading for like quite a bit. I was reading on the beach for like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
And it was sick. Like, I just like the format of it. It's really cool. It's like the paper doesn't feel cheap or anything, and it was like in my backpack like a lot as I was walking around, and it was like it got wet a little bit. It like got crushed by some stuff, and it like still looks pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
So the quality of the paper is good. It's not like you're getting shit quality
It's
for
not
$10
newsprint or whatever.
Yeah, no, it's not newsprint.
Yeah, because I saw Watchmen. It was on white paper.
Yeah, it's good.
That's neat.
I was very pleasantly surprised by that, but that's just being a paper nerd.
Did you see that there was like DC had like commercials?
Yeah,
For those,
dude, they really are.
I'm like,
leaning
here
into
we
it.
go, dude.
I'm like, yeah, fuck yes, get it in like Walmarts and shit. Even though that hasn't really worked for them too big before, but like somewhere other than comic shops, get it somewhere, in bookstores. But I think it's like they're really stoked about this kind of very accessible format, which is a shocker.
This concept was I saw in Belgium first, so like in Europe, and like when I was in France, they had like spinner racks of like the compact comics.
Oh, really?
I sent you like a video of it.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
so they had like 16 different compact books
From DC? Or
DC.
Just, really?
Yeah, it was really neat. And there's like Vertigo stuff in there too.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, it was really cool.
It's great. I'm glad that they're doing more. I thought the Catwoman one had already come out, but that comes out in like November, I think.
Yeah.
But the story, Wonder Woman, it's by Grant Morrison and Raphael Albuquerque. Fucking awesome so far. I mean, I'm only halfway through it.
Is it Albuquerque?
No, Yannick Paquette. Sorry.
That's it.
I get those mixed up. But it's awesome.
Yeah,
Like, it's a really, really good Wonder Woman story, actually. I thought it was like
you
just...
don't think Wonder Woman has good stories?
Not really, dude.
Is it because she's a woman?
Because she's a woman, like, I just really don't like her that much. But...
Oh, wow.
No, but like, I feel like the one that we read by Brian Azzarello, I was like, this is fun, but it's not like...
Oh, that was cool, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm like reading this and I'm like genuinely invested, and I'm like, why don't we get more shit like this? Because it's like good origin, and as I was reading it, I'm like, this is a fun origin, but maybe like I only like Wonder Woman's origin, and then it like went into like regular like political like Amazon shit, and she's like the queen, and there's like really interesting situations going on, I feel like. So
Nice.
like he's just like made a banger, and I've just been like,
As he does.
and I haven't gotten around to it, and I'm glad that they made it like the compact one
Yeah.
because it's sick. So
You're
I'm
glad that they made it accessible for you just to not read
for
it?
me to like not spend a whole lot of money on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great. I think it's really good, really fun characters. They clearly like twist the origin a little bit. Like she's like being put on trial for the Amazons because she was helping Steve Trevor when he like crash lands.
Yeah.
But then she becomes sort of like the regular world representative for Amazons.
Yeah.
And then obviously like the US government is like, you're telling me there's like a whole thing over here that we don't control, we don't know about, we better nuke them or whatever, like we normally would. And it's all very like believable stuff from both sides.
Yeah.
And it's kind of one of those stories where it's like, if everybody was just chill, everything would be chill. But obviously no one's chill.
Naturally, yeah.
Yeah. So I enjoyed that. What'd you read?
I read The Last Days of Black Hammer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was the I think it was like the trade that just kind of came out. I want to say it was a Substack thing,
I think it was.
and then the trade came out through Dark Horse.
Yep.
And that was really fun. It was like 4 issues. It was like the shit right before Black Hammer.
Oh,
And it
okay.
was following Black Hammer.
So Black Hammer's like the main character?
Yeah.
I presume, yeah.
And so you see like his family dynamic and stuff like that.
Nice.
That was really cool.
Who's the artist on that?
Hold on, it's like right here.
Oh, you have it in print.
Yeah.
It's not Dean whatever, is it? It's like Dean Ormston or something.
Dean
right?
Ormston, yeah.
Yeah.
Dean Ormston hasn't been back since the original run.
Oh, okay.
He might have done like a fill-in in Age of Doom.
What else has that dude been up to?
Nothing, I'm pretty sure.
All right,
And I wish all of Black Hammer was Dave McKean or Dean Ormston.
Yeah. Who's on
So art Stefano Simoni
this? Okay.
or Simeone,
Okay.
Nate Picos.
Nice.
But yeah, it's super kick-ass. Black Hammer's so good.
Black Hammer is so good.
Yeah, that's a cover. I don't know if you've seen it.
I've seen it.
So I read that.
Nice.
Good
read.
I read The Unbelievable Unteens, which
Nice.
is like the Black Hammer, like X-Men in a way.
Yeah.
And that's super good. I like had started that but never finished it, and so
Same.
I'm just kind of getting caught up on like Black Hammer.
I want to reread Skull Digger.
Skeleton Boy and Skull Digger.
Yeah. That one's, I remember being like really good.
Yeah, that one rocks.
And I haven't seen that artist on like anything else. I forget his name, but
Yeah, I can't remember. He was good too.
he was great.
I followed him.
Yeah, I still follow him.
I only ever see like his pinups or whatever. Then I read Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong, Nathan.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Dude, that has fucking terrible writing.
It does have terrible writing, but that's because it's a Godzilla book, Daniel.
Like
Most
the
of them are
plot
pretty
is
bad.
fine, but the dialogue, I was like, what the
so
fuck?
bad. But the ideas,
I wrote
unbelievable.
I wrote down some of my favorite lines.
yes, please.
So like there's like the Legion of Doom or whatever, working with Lex Luthor. Some giant woman, it was like Giganta or whatever. She said like, oh, at least we got like the smartest man in the world. And then Lex Luthor was like, facts. I'm like,
Dude, I remember that.
I was like,
I'm like, did
no
they make Lex Luthor say
way.
facts? Yeah, dude, facts.
And then like Superman just proposed to Lois Lane and he's talking to Batman. He's like, when you know, you know, you know. I'm
That's
like,
good.
are you high right now?
Dude,
When you know, you know.
when you like have a girl and like, you just, you know. Yeah,
It's
insane.
There's something about like Batman's Rogue Gallery or whatever. And the Penguin says, let's squawking go. And I'm like, I'm going to light this thing on fire.
I don't remember that.
It was
Who's reading a Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong book for the dialogue?
kind of me.
No, you're not.
It was in the book, and so I read it, you know?
You're reading it so that Oliver Queen goes to Kong Island and he's like, oh, I'm on an island again because that's my thing. I go into islands and I survive.
It has like some like Marvel movie writing
It
in
does.
a way.
It does, yeah.
Like Guy Gardner gets like punched by Kong or something. He's like, that's going to leave a mark. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Nice. Good
come
one.
on, dude.
Who wrote this one?
I don't know, but I want to hit him.
I feel like I know
Christopher
right.
Cantwell?
No.
No?
No.
You can look it up.
The monster shit that happens in it is great though, right?
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's really fun ideas, I feel like.
King Kong becomes a Green Lantern?
Yeah, dude.
I'm like, so the ring just expands to be big enough to
Well,
get...
yeah, I mean, it's not like every alien in
He
the
doesn't
Green
even like
Lantern.
do any constructs.
No, but he flies around. What construct do you want to do, Daniel? Big banana? Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Oh, Buccellato. Brian Buccellato.
Ah, okay.
Close
Yeah,
enough.
fuck that guy.
And then there's
But-
like Godzilla fighting like the Kraken that like Atlantis has. And
Yeah.
like when Godzilla's like fighting Atlantis. Yeah, it's fucking good.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So Jessica Cruz,
Uh-huh.
she makes a construct of smelling salts to wake someone up that's been knocked out.
Yeah.
So constructs can have smell? Has
You
that
know-
ever been a thing?
You know, I've told you my gripes with how people stretch the construct thing. And I think, smells is a little ridiculous. Yeah.
I feel
I
like the grumpy people who watch like the new Star Wars trilogy, like, what? The Force can't do that. you know?
Yeah. That's kind of how I am a little bit with construct stuff. But like, I feel like it's a device that does so much already. So to make it like what was it in 52? I think he was like making pretty much a telepathic device go to people's like minds or something.
No,
or
it
like
was
there was
like-
an
it was like a
earpiece
little-
in people's ears and that
Yeah.
somehow translated.
It's somehow like a
and
transmitter.
that was linked, and I was like, come on.
It's just the construct can make things that appeal to all the senses.
Yeah, and it has like technology. I don't know. I guess like technically you could argue that earbuds are just like things that have like little speakers in them, so you could construct that. But that's like, come on. So
if
yeah,
you know how to
smelling
do
salts-
that, sure.
So, smelling salts is that's too far for me. But did you like the Batman Mecha Godzilla?
Yeah, that was
Or
neat.
the Bat Mech was cool fighting Godzilla. I like that.
I think there's a part where, Godzilla is like on the same side as like the Justice League or whatever, and there's like a double blast when they are blasting Lex Luthor in the Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah.
There's Godzilla's blast and then like his heat vision at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, I know. There's
I'm
some,
like, this is the brain rot I'm here for.
There's a lot of like dude hell yeah moments in there.
Yeah. So yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I like that book a lot.
So, something I like suspended my disbelief was that Beast Boy can just be King Kong.
Why not?
If he exists,
Tell me why not.
It could happen.
Yeah.
But maybe like once like King Kong goes back, he can't just pull that out again when he goes back to his universe or whatever.
Yeah, I think if he like interacts with an animal or like
because like doesn't like
some way,
Beast Boy become like a dragon?
I think he can like go to like space and become aliens. Is that? I'm sure that's the thing that's happened before.
I believe
like,
that
alien animals,
as long as it's something that like exists and he can like.
Yeah, because if you can be a dragon, you're just like a shapeshifter, right?
Yeah,
like that's not limited to like this thing of.
But
animals.
dragons are like in DC at some point.
Well, then yeah, turn into a dragon.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, and then we were in Spain.
Yep.
And I was looking up Spanish comic creators, and there's one. His name's Paco Roca.
Oh yeah.
And I read this book called Wrinkles that he does. I showed you the cover of it. It was a little sad and like a little boring because what it is, it's kind of like this book, and it was just people. It was just about old people.
Okay.
And there's this dude. He gets just admitted into like a retirement home, you know, and it's like about like people's personal experience in like retirement homes, and it shows them of like what they think they're doing, you know, because a lot of them have like dementia of some sort.
Yeah.
Like they're
senile in some way.
Yeah, there's a guy like showing him around, and he's like, oh, this is like Brenda or whatever, and she's like looking out the window because she thinks she's on like the Orient Express and like going to some country.
That's sad.
Yeah, and but it like will show a panel of like her and her young age when she was on the
Orient Express
train. Yeah. And so I'm like, oh, that's kind of neat. And there's like the main character, he's like has Alzheimer's or whatever, and him and his friend are like trying to convince like the staff that like he doesn't, you know, like convince him that he's not like senile.
But they do it every day.
Yeah. He's like, oh, yeah. He's like, they'll talk about like where they're going, and then he's like, I don't know where we're going. Where are you? Or like and shit like that.
Yeah.
But it's clearly like doesn't work out. There's one part at the very end that like almost scared the shit out of me, because like I was like, oh fuck, you know, because there's this dude who has like a dog there. He's not supposed to have a dog there.
Okay.
And he's like walking around, and he like goes in the room and he like shuts the door, and like the leash is like in the door and the dog's like still outside, but they show it as if he's in like an elevator and going up.
Oh,
right. I was like, whoa. Because like the last couple pages, I'm like, dude, this was going so well.
Yeah.
but
they almost killed the dog.
Yeah, but he was just in another room, but his like dementia makes him think that he's like in an elevator going to another level. Yeah. And so I was like,
dude, have you seen that video where like that almost happens to a dog?
No.
Dude, it's like he gets like saved because someone just like happened to be walking by.
Yeah.
But someone walks into the elevator closes, the dog's outside, and they're like on a leash still.
Yeah.
And the elevator like goes up, and the dog starts to like raise.
Yeah.
Because the elevator's going up, and some dude was able to like clutch up and like grab the leash and undo the thing, which takes me so long to do, I feel like, when the dog's on the ground. So the fact that he was able to like do it while the dog was suspended by the leash, and he like saves the dog, it was crazy.
That's good.
Yeah.
So I thought that was about to happen. I'm like, why would you end it like this?
Yeah, that would be crazy. That's how they ended it.
Did you watch anything?
Well, I have some Spain comics as well.
Oh, cool.
They're still in my backpack, I realized. So I picked this one up from a newsstand, and it was like, they did not have comics at that newsstand, you know?
Yeah.
But there was like...
comics are pretty spread thin.
Like, yeah, there was like no comics just at newsstand, but there was a Flash Gordon, what do you call them? Compendium type thing, collection. Flash Gordon comics from 1951 to 1954. And it's all in Spanish, so that's pretty cool. This was like on like the side where like there's like window on the side. And he had to like dig through other shit on the shelf to get to it to tell me what the price was. He clearly like never planned on selling this book, but I had to like have him walk to where the glass was and be like, how much is that?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, this guy's a fucking weirdo, but it looks really fucking cool.
I saw that in like a convenience store at like the train station.
Oh, you did?
And I'm like, oh, hey, this is what Nathan got.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so I got that, and I got 2 more books. So that one's in Spanish. And then when we were at one of the airports, there was like a comic store in the airport, which I don't think I've ever seen before.
Which airport?
In Mallorca. You were there. You were like looking through the stuff. So I got a Spanish version of Blackest Night.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Noche Más Oscura.
Mm-hmm.
And so Blackest Night, probably one of my favorite comics. So now I have it in Spanish, which is pretty cool.
Is the Flash Gordon in English?
Flash Gordon's in Spanish.
Oh, okay.
And then this one I got from a comic shop in Barcelona, but this one's in English. It's called Breaking Free, which is a Tintin book that was apparently banned in the UK because it's a Tintin book that was criticizing the politics that were kind of happening there at the time.
Nice.
So it got banned there, which is cool. So I have a banned Tintin book.
Nice. Read banned books.
Yeah, I love banned books, dude. So metal. I feel like.
dude.
So punk rock to have banned comics.
Tennessee to be pissed at you.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was cool. And the guy that ran the shop there, super nice. He had really good English as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he was telling me about all sorts of things that were going on. We talked about Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips collaborations for a while.
Yeah.
You know, and tell me his favorite ones. His is like the Fade Out. I told him mine was probably like
Pulp or Night Fever.
Yeah, Night Fever I said I was a big fan of, and like My Heroes Have Always Been Junkies I'm a big fan of, so stuff like that. And then he only gets comics like 3 months behind kind of like the American schedule for like American books.
Right.
So like X-Men was like still wrapping up over there, you know, like the Krakoan era.
Right.
And so he was like just getting those single issues because it takes a while for them to be translated. So I thought that was interesting. But I gave him the insight and I'm like, dude, Uncanny X-Men, fucking banger. You gotta order some more of those. And he's like, okay. So he was really cool, very nice.
Sweet.
And he talked to me about like local like Spain artists too.
I went to like a store that had like mostly magazines and newspapers in the front, but there were like books in there too. And there's like a little tiny section of comics, and I got Veneno. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I tried to go to that same bookstore, but it was closed by the time I went there.
That blows.
I know. I feel like I went there like maybe 30 minutes after you.
Yeah, they had like Spider Shadow and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so stuff that I recognized.
That's pretty cool though. Veneno.
They had the Guardians de la Galaxia and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
And then when I went to Perpignan, they had, this is like a weird place. It's not really like a touristy place, but they had like shops and stuff, and there'd be like, I guess people from bookstores, and they just had like a bunch of comics and like books just out on these tables. And I went to like 3 different ones, and one had shit in English. I'm like, I have to ask if like they spoke English, and then I asked if they had books in English. He's like, oh, I have one. I'm like, oh, sick. And it's Asterix, like an Asterix book.
Oh.
This is like a French property.
I don't think I saw this one.
Yeah, I think these guys are like, I don't know, Vikings or something. It's like how Obelix fell into a magic potion when he was a little boy.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just like, it's kind of, it looks like it's just like a kid's book.
It's like a humor book.
It's like a,
oh wow,
yeah, it's like actually just like a kid's.
It looked like political cartoon type style.
They do kind of look like that. Sarah read this on like the train back, and she's like, what was the point of this? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what this is. I just bought it because it's in English. Like I wanted to like reward them for having something in English.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
this was like one of 2 books that were in English, I think.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So,
but that was the only luck I had, and I went to like 6 stores.
Wow.
It had a lot of bookstores. France is cool because I think they like books. They care about literature and stuff.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
Did you watch anything?
I watched all of the Planet of the Apes movies.
All 9 of them, dude?
All 9 of them. No, all of the new ones post Rise.
Sick, dude.
So I watched Dawn, War, and Kingdom.
Nice.
With the Planet of the Apes. Because you talked about them, you're pretty stoked about them, and I'm like, those sound cool, but I'm not going to be on a plane anytime soon. So I downloaded them specifically for this. I bought Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes because you can't rent it for some fucking reason. So I bought it for $12.
That's pretty good. No, it's like 20.
Yeah, I know. So I was like, okay, I can work with this. But it was on the plane for free.
Yeah.
So I'm like, shit.
But it would have been shitty audio, Nathan.
It would have been shitty audio, so I was glad that I bought it anyway.
Yeah.
But those movies fucking rule.
I told ya.
Fucking rule.
They're so sick.
So hard.
I love them.
The best one's definitely Dawn, but only because like I feel like it's very funny that there's a dude fighting for the apes. There's like the science dude that like first interacted with them, and like probably my favorite scene is when he has to like point a gun at Gary Oldman to prevent him from stopping the apes, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like these are apes, you know.
Yeah, he's like, are you shitting me right now?
Like Gary Oldman's character every perspective in there is so believable to me. Like there's such good motivations.
Yeah.
And I just think that that's fucking sick because the conflict feels so natural and it's so devastating at the same time. Because if everybody was just chill, everything would have been chill.
Yeah, it was just like a misunderstanding.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Which is like, oh no. And so that adds like so much tension to it.
Caesar is like very peaceful in it, which is cool. And then Koba, big bitch, which, his perspective I think is also pretty understandable because he's got that own like perspective with people. But I think one of my favorite scenes is when Caesar brings like all of the apes and all the horses that they have to go talk to the people for the first time. And they just like look over their little wall that they have and they're like, holy shit, there's a lot of apes outside.
Why are they on horses?
And then that Wyatt Russell's character, or no, it's not Wyatt Russell, is it? It's one of the other Russells. He like has to walk out and be like, hello. And everybody like looks at him like he's crazy for talking to an ape.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. I love that movie.
What's that dude's name?
It's like Brian Russell or like
he was
something.
like in everything for like a couple years.
Was he? Yeah. I thought it was Wyatt Russell, obviously because they look similar, but it like wasn't. It was like Ryan or Brian or something.
So Kerry Russell is in it.
Yeah.
But the dude is Jason Clarke.
The character's name?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Or no, the dude's name. The actor. This dude?
He's not a Russell?
No.
Oh, I thought he was.
That'd be something.
That would be cool. Yeah, I liked his character a lot. And then War, I think is also really good. I like that they made it something a little bit different, like a sort of like espionage type thing, turning into like concentration camp type thing for apes.
Yeah.
So I like that perspective. I just didn't think it was as strong. And then Kingdom is also good because it's like fresh story. Probably not as good as Dawn, but I like what they were doing with that too because it's just like there's no like people bad guy necessarily. It's just like ape versus ape.
Yeah.
Something that hasn't necessarily happened really. So
Are you down for 5 more of those movies, Evan?
I'm down for fucking 5 more, dude.
Fuck yeah, dude.
When I was done with that, I'm like, dude, I get it. Give me more.
Yeah. I'm glad that one like did well.
Shotgunning them like back to back to back is kind of funny because I just get used to like so little dialogue and then a lot of
Yeah.
like the whole time.
Yeah.
I like when monkeys get hyped, dude.
Yeah, dude.
It makes me hype. But I like the like weird origins that they made for like Nova and some of those characters. So I'm interested to see where they go with it for sure.
Nice.
And the quality of the CGI like never like faltered for me.
Yeah, isn't
That's
it like
cool.
crazy?
Apparently in the DVD for Kingdom, they're releasing like a raw version, like without any CGI, and it's the people in like the mocap suits.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
I saw that video and I like sent it to you.
Yeah.
And just like Kevin Durand, like doing that, like just watching him like be Proximus Caesar and doing his monkey movements.
What a wonderful day.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is so sick.
It is cool. There is a scene in, I think it's Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, where Caesar's like being like, he's like him in this scene, but he's like standing like a baby would, and I think it's very funny. But he's like standing there and everybody's like looking up at him and he's just like this, trying to look cool, but his arms are out in like a weird baby way.
That's just how they stand.
That's just how they stand, but it made me laugh.
Yeah.
Also, I think Kingdom almost made me cry when that gorilla was dying. Spoilers, I guess. There's like a gorilla that dies by a blossom tree, and Nova has to like gives him like a little flower behind his ear, and they just like had like a very small interaction in the movie, but for whatever reason it like hit me. I think I was just tired.
In Kingdom?
In Kingdom, yeah. Or sorry, no, in War. Because he was part of the 4 that Caesar brought to go find whatever that dude was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like the gorilla dies and
no, that's a correct feeling, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was like, because that one like saved Nova from a big monkey.
Mm-hmm. So that was cool.
Nice.
What did you watch?
Before we left, I watched a movie called Freaky.
Oh yeah, the Vince Vaughn one.
Yeah.
Was that good?
It's awesome.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Oh cool.
It was like surprisingly like very funny, and it was just like a really, really cool concept.
It looked like a fun time, so it's good that it was like super good.
Yeah, my favorite kill included like a wine bottle where a guy's head was like held back. He's like in a wine cellar, and Vince Vaughn like he like shoves a wine bottle down the dude's throat and then like punches him in the throat, and so the glass shatters like through his neck. I'm like, wow. I'm like, that's creative.
Was that an empty wine bottle?
No, it's full.
Oh, so we got drunk too?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that is just like some magic knife thing that Vince Vaughn stabs this girl with, and it switches their bodies at midnight or whatever. And so they switch bodies. It's like Freaky Friday or whatever.
Yeah.
There's like a Suicide Boys song in there, so I'm like, this movie rules.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. There was a so the girl's in like high school or whatever, and so Vince Vaughn, like the serial killer Vince Vaughn, is just walking around high school, just like killing people in the high school.
Yeah.
And there's this like shitty woodshop teacher who's like mean to the girl, and so there's like a woodshop kill with like the saw that's on the table.
Yeah.
And so you see the dude get just cut in half.
That's Mortal Kombat shit.
Yeah, pretty satisfying.
Yeah.
So the girl that's in Vince Vaughn's body is convinced like her friends like who she is. And so the dude's like wanted because he's like a serial killer, you know?
Yeah.
And so they go to some store, and to like disguise him, they give him like an Aaron Rodgers mask. Which is just like so fucking random.
That'd be so scary.
Because it's based in like Green Bay or Wisconsin or something.
Yeah. Oh, so that's why they have Aaron Rodgers mask. That'd be scary, dude. I don't want to see that dude.
Yeah,
dude as a mask.
Yeah, and just like walking around in
it's
like
public.
public.
Seeing like Biden masks. It's like, ew, don't do that.
Yeah, I think it wasn't near Halloween or anything, so mask was kind of a weird thing to have. But yeah, really funny.
Nice.
Highly recommend.
Yeah, that was a movie I was like curious about. That's cool. That was good.
Yeah, I wanted to
out.
kind of go through like. There's like one more like Blumhouse serial killer movie.
Was that a Blumhouse?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So it was like the same dude who wrote like Happy Death Day and stuff like that. And I think there's a newer one called like Totally Killer, which I want to see as well. I watched Alien.
The first one?
Yep.
Nice.
Good movie.
I'd
never seen like a horror sci-fi movie that was pulled off that well.
Could you tell why it was successful?
Yeah, it's a banger. Super
it
good.
It does bang.
I was surprised like that how good like the Alien looked, because like I've only seen like the more modern stuff, so the fact that it looked that good back then was like really sick. Like they hardly
dynamic.
They hardly needed to like update it as time goes on.
Yeah, I think like a lot of the CGI ones are just trying to make it look as good as like that practical one,
right? And there's like a lot of practical use since then. I also saw Aliens, which is like the second one. More happens and more is explained as far as like the lore and stuff like that. But it's more of like an action movie. Yeah. So I think I still prefer like the first one.
Yeah, because the Aliens makes them feel more vulnerable than Alien does, I feel like.
Yeah, they definitely like mow down a lot more.
Yeah.
But it's cool. Just like there's like a lot of them rather than just like one.
Yeah.
It's a proper title.
I like Alien as like a creature movie versus Aliens as like a, I don't know, swarm type movie.
Right. That one had like the queen in there.
Yeah, the Queen was cool though.
I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like it didn't seem like something that'd be in like this movie from like the 80s or whatever. Yeah. And then we saw Alien Romulus. Yes, sir.
Managed to. It came out while we were in Spain. We didn't see it for like a week and a half ish. Thankfully, I avoided any spoilers because this movie fucking rules.
I saw spoilers.
Oh, did you?
But,
that sucks.
I try to forget them, but
I avoided like everything, which I was happy about.
Nice.
Because sometimes people will just like.
It was like all over social media.
Yeah, people will make it unavoidable, which is annoying. So, but it's great. I think
I loved it. Yeah.
Fede Alvarez did a really good job setting things up pretty quickly and putting us in a situation that's interesting. And like he just does a really good job setting up like the atmosphere, because like right in the beginning, you're like, man, this fucking company that they work for sucks. So it makes sense that they'd want to do something risky to try to escape it.
Yeah, being on this planet sucks.
Yeah, that planet sucks. There's no fucking sunlight on that planet. Are you shitting me?
Yeah,
that would be terrible. We learn more slowly about like the android dude. Not really slowly, but like it's not just kind of like, oh, hello, my android brother.
Yeah.
So
I was like, they gave the android autism? That's crazy.
Yeah, dude, I didn't really. Yeah.
He's just like, I don't know, damaged or something.
Yeah, or just old code, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that actor that played Andy, the android in it, so good.
David Johnson.
Yeah, he's great.
I only remember that because like David Johnson is like a was like an old Cardinals running back who is like the
Same
number
guy?
one running back in in fantasy.
Same guy.
No,
Wow.
not the same guys.
Good for
Johnson
him.
spelled differently.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's really good in this.
Yeah, no, he killed it.
He's got some banger jokes, some banger dad jokes in there.
There's
But no, he's like,
I heard all of them except for one at the end. I was like, that's pretty good.
I like when he reboots and he like freezes in like a weird position. I'm like,
Yeah.
come on. Surely that's not in the code. Like you'd think you'd reboot in resting state, but
Maybe.
and then he like turns like so stone cold.
Mm-hmm.
It's very fun.
Yeah, he gets like the clearance of like a other android, and so like his like objective it changes, and
Yeah.
so
It's
not
very
the same guy.
devastating to see that like his like personality when his directive is to protect Rain change, and when Rain is like, "What's your directive?" and then he tells her that it's like the best interest of the company or whatever. It's like, fuck, that sucks because he's a cool guy.
When they said like directive, it reminded me of like 300, where it's like, he's like, "What is your profession?" or whatever, and they're like, "Oh." Like,
I did not get that at all.
really? It
No.
just made me think of that. This movie had some bops in it, dude.
Some bops.
The soundtrack, or not the soundtrack, but like the score.
Yeah,
just,
the score is
just went
good.
pretty hard.
Even just like we were talking about it after, but just like random alarms would go off, and I'd be like, "Okay, oh shit."
Hey.
I thought I was supposed to be in panic mode. But yeah, it's really fun. There's some gross face hugger stuff. There's some gross chest bursting, which is good.
The chest bursting I thought was cool because it like, not that these are like realistic movies, but like there's no way like an alien would burst through like your sternum.
Yeah.
And this one kind of like came out like the side of their chest, like through a rib,
through the ribs,
and so and it didn't like burst out. It just kind of like slowly like came out,
cracked open. Yeah,
and like that seems like how it would happen. You know?
yeah. I like the X-ray like thing that they had going on where you could like see it happen.
Yeah, that was effective.
That was a good use of just like sci-fi technology.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that, it's very clear what their goal was while they were in that like satellite ship thing. And it's like, okay, we are in Romulus. We need to get to Romulus. And it's like, okay, that seems pretty easy. And we find out more about the ship as they're like running through it, which is fun. And I think my favorite scene is when their use of like zero gravity, when there's a bunch of xenomorphs there, and they have to like shoot through them while they're in zero gravity. They have to like think on their feet and make it zero gravity, and then shoot through them, and then move through their acid, or try and avoid the acid blood from them. It's like one thing leads to the next, leads to the next, leads to the next, and it was like all very interesting to me.
Yeah, the pacing was fire.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. So that's I think what they did very well.
Do aliens like always have like the silver teeth?
Yeah,
Like they look like they have grills on.
yeah.
I didn't know. I never noticed that for some reason.
They do have grills. Dude, I saw, okay, this is very off topic, but I saw like a Kermit xenomorph.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Did you see that? Okay. I was like, what a wild design. And then at the end, there's, spoilers. At the end, there's baby xenomorph.
Yeah,
Disgusting.
that was just like a horrific scene.
The
Like
birth of it, terrible. It just hard to watch, which is good. That's how you know it's a good alien movie, when it's like something that's kind of hard to watch,
Yeah,
but exploring an interesting idea.
because the first like 2/3 of the movie, you're like, oh, this is just a cool like retelling, or not like retelling, but like retreading of like the good things about Alien and whatnot, and then used in a very practical way.
Yeah.
But then like the end just has this like huge thing that
Yeah.
happens, and you're
Explore
just like,
something new.
oh my god.
And they've like set it up properly, I feel like, because there was like tests on rats and stuff. I
Yeah.
thought the person that was pregnant was going to turn into something too. And then
Yeah.
they would fight, and that might have been a little bit too much, so I'm glad they didn't do that. But when it was like xenomorph baby, seeing it, how fast it like evolves and stuff is kind of crazy. But like seeing that full formed, 7-8 foot xenomorph thing,
I think he's 7'7".
7'7", yeah, because he's an actual
The
basketball
actor, right?
guy.
Yeah.
He looks gross. The reveal of him, the fact that it wasn't a jump scare, with like audio, but it was a jump scare just like looking at him, was awesome. I think it was a good reveal.
Yeah, it doesn't happen a lot. So like the people on Romulus were like testing on aliens, and they were looking at how they're able to like adapt to all kinds of stuff. Because I guess the alien that they got in that little cocoon thing was the alien that was like shot out in Alien.
Yeah, which is super cool.
Because so like when you like airlock evac them or whatever,
they're not like dead.
Yeah, they can like survive in space when they make that cocoon thing. And so they're trying to make like some sort of serum to use on humans to make them more like a perfect organism.
Yeah, make them evolve faster rather than like take generations to do.
And so
which seems like something humans would try and do.
Yeah, so. And so the mom is trying to like save her baby when she was injured, so she stabs herself with it.
Yeah.
But instead of making like the perfect organism, they make like the perfect center. You know, like this guy needs to go on the court.
Yeah, dude.
The Suns need him. You know.
Yes, we do. We need his big ass tail, the big bony tail.
Yeah, dude.
And his off center hips.
Exactly.
He was gross.
Very upsetting.
And it was great.
Yeah, man. Dude was messing with the wrong rockets.
He was. Did you know if you're 7 foot tall, you have a 1 in 12 chance of being in the NBA?
I didn't know that statistic, but sounds.
Because like not a lot of people are 7 foot,
but
if you are 7 foot, I'm sure your parents are like, you should play basketball.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone in the world is like, you should play basketball.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's kind of fun.
Yeah. So prior to seeing this, I'd only seen Alien and Aliens, which all end with like a airlock dump.
Yeah.
And so
Aliens
this is how
sucked out quite a bit.
This is how this ends. And I'm like, is that the only way to handle this? Because I guess if you shoot them, the acid,
them,
blood,
and get away from them.
Yeah, you just fucking shoot them out.
I assume this one's dead because it hit an asteroid belt.
Yeah, but you know.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, they killed aliens with like blasters in this, pulse rifles.
Right, but like I guess with like the final boss thing.
Yeah, final bosses,
that wouldn't have worked.
They gotta get sucked.
Gotta get sucked.
That pulse rifle is really cool.
Yeah,
like,
that was neat. That'd be fun.
It gives you like auto aim in like a somewhat believable way, I feel like.
Yeah.
And it makes sense that they would do that because if they didn't have that mechanic as a part of this gun, I would be like, she's as good at firing this gun.
No way Rain's like that clutch.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? I mean,
so
it's just point and shoot, you know?
Yeah, but like with how fast it shoots and how powerful it seems, you'd be like, okay, really? You're really gonna do this?
Right.
But they gave a reason for it that seems believable, and I thought it was clever. So
yeah,
so good. I didn't expect to like it like this much. I knew it was.
I've only heard like good things, you know. So I was excited for it.
I had high expectations that I tried to temper, and then it like exceeded those. So I was pretty happy with it.
Nice.
So you're gonna watch Covenant and Prometheus eventually?
Yeah. I'll watch those, and then if I like still have the momentum, I'll watch like, you know, the bad ones, like Alien 3 and Resurrection.
Play the game.
I will not play the game.
Why not?
Because I don't like even like prioritize the games I want to play. You know,
fair enough.
And Isolation, I get scared when shit pops up in like Jedi Survivor, that just like these little alien things that pop out of plants. Those scare the shit out of me. Because like,
dude, the game's so scary.
Yeah,
it learns how you hide.
Yeah, see, I'm not down for that. I don't need to be, because that's kind of like a connect. That's like a extension of yourself.
Yeah.
So you kind of feel like you're in danger. Like,
you are.
Yeah, and so that's just like it's like a special kind of goosebumps that I only get from
that level
being
of
scared in games.
Yeah, that level of immersion.
And I don't like it.
Yeah.
So
that's probably a good thing, because I think the first hour and the last hour of that game are kind of stale. So
okay, yeah. So I'd watch someone play it probably, maybe. But
yeah. So good stuff.
Good stuff.
You watch anything else?
No. Did you watch anything else?
I just rewatched Surf's Up. Good movie. Don't have anything to say about it other than that.
Yeah. There's a couple of rewatches during the trip.
Yeah. We rewatched like Men in Black.
The Hangover.
Oh, I didn't watch that, but that's cool.
I like looked at Land of the Lost. There wasn't like subtitles for some reason, and I didn't have the shitty headphones. And
so you just watched Will Ferrell run around?
Yeah, I'm like, Sarah's looking at it. Is like, what the fuck are you watching? I'm like, this is a great movie. You'd love it, probably.
She probably would, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, good stuff.
And then what are we going to read next week? What are we going to read next week?
Do we have some lined up?
We sure do.
All right, what are we doing?
We're going to read Transformers.
Oh.
By DWJ.
DWJ, the Eisner nominated and winning series?
I can't remember.
I think it did. I think he won one.
Look it up.
Okay.
Because Transformers 1 is coming out, Nathan.
Yes.
And this is probably the only Transformers book we can get in trade easily.
Yep.
So, you cool with that?
I'm cool with that.
You down to clown?
I'm super down to clown. Let me just make sure he won. Hold on. Yep. Best writer / artist, Daniel Warren Johnson for Transformers.
Is that the only thing he did that year?
I think he just did like a Darth Vader
Oh, okay.
Anthology thing.
So the book didn't win. It was just like the...
Daniel Warren Johnson won for the book, but I don't know if the book won. Let me see.
I feel like that's different things.
It's not. Because like his book was better than the other. Oh, it also won Best Continuing Series.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So 2 double Eisner nom.
Wow.
And win. So pretty cool.
Cool. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in for our shorter episodes. We give you a nice long one.
Yeah.
With all the stuff.
All the stuff we've been doing and reading and watching.
What's
your favorite Apes movie? What's your favorite Aliens movie? Who wins, Caesar or a xenomorph?
Apes strong together, or whatever.
Ape together strong.
Linktree in the bio. Like, comment, subscribe, stuff like that. tradewaiterspod@gmail.com. Email us in. Email in.
Email in.
And goodbye.